Years, so like 21.3, we will all be buried with our families and friends. Strangers will live in our homes that we worked so hard to build, and someone else will own everything we have today. Most of our possessions will be given away or thrown out and destroyed, including the car that we spent our fortune on, and will probably be scrapped. Our descendants will hardly know who we are, nor will they remember us. How many of us know who our grandfather's father was? After we die, we will be remembered for a few more years, and then we're just a portrait from someone's wall. And a few decades later, our history, photos, and deeds disappear into histories of oblivion. We won't even be memories. If we pause one day to analyze these questions, perhaps we would understand how pointless it is for us to worry about 95% of the things that consume our minds daily. If we could only think about this shortly, our approaches, our thoughts would change, and we would do things differently. Perhaps we would feel more free to enjoy ourselves and our lives that we're living. Take these thoughts into the rest of your day this week, this year. And remember this saying, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes being upset by it.
You have no idea how many times God has defeated the Jezebel spirit in your life. You see, Jezebel was used by the devil to try to hinder God's work through Elijah. Keyword, hinder. She was definitely a woman of influence, but not the type of influence that we should desire to have. You see, a godly woman has influence, and a worldly woman has influence. But the key is to start using your discernment to see what kind of woman are you being influenced by today. You have been feeling defeated lately. You've been feeling tired. You've been feeling sluggish. You've been feeling unmotivated. You've been feeling confused. And that is because you have a lot of people that have been operating through the spirit of witchcraft, that have been operating through the spirit of Jezebel, trying to destroy you, trying to take you down, and trying to hinder you from what God has called you to do. Same way that Jezebel was frustrated is the same way that your enemies are frustrated. Jezebel swore an oath that she will have Elijah killed in 24 hours, and it did not come to pass. Your enemies have been trying to bring you down. They have been trying to kill the assignment that God has on your life. And because it's not coming to pass, they are frustrated. The Bible says that a wise woman built her house, but that a foolish one built her down. So I want you to ask yourself, which Jezebel do you have around you? And get rid of her ASAP. You have no idea how many times God has
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, family. Good evening, and welcome to Secrets to Success, Men's Mental Health and Healing podcast. This is the 4th episode of this series, and this is the last one. Unfortunately, it is the last one, but we're giving thanks because it's been amazing. It's been a enlightful, educational, empowering time. With gentlemen that have very learnt and very experienced and have got a lived journey, lived experience when it comes to health and well-being. So welcome and thank you for joining us. I'll just kick it off with prayer before we do the introductions as usual. Just join me in prayer. Thank you, Father God, for your mercy and your kindness today. You said, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, there you are in the midst. You said, Lord, that if my people are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray, turn from their wicked way, then you will hear from heaven and heal our land. I pray that you will use this podcast to heal our hearts, our minds, and our spirits so we can be better sons, better fathers, better brothers, uncles, husbands, partners, so we can set an example for the next generation to come, that they don't need to experience ill health and they can experience your wish that we prosper, be in good health even as our soul prospers. Bless us today as we finalize our conversation in this episode. We pray all this in the name of the Almighty God. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, so we're going to pass it over to our resident therapist, Scotty.
Every time you say that, you always make me smile. And just so that we can kind of get a sense of who's in the room, For a number of weeks, we've been talking about some of our guests, and we've been waiting in anticipation for them to come. So if the audience wouldn't mind, I'd just like to just go around and give everyone a chance to connect with the people sitting in the chairs. So I think everyone knows who Milo is. He's brought us together to do this series because he sees the benefit and how powerful it will be to get different men from different walks of life to talk about legacy, to talk about forgiveness, to talk about our emotional well-being. So we've got some esteemed guests here today. I'm just going to go around the room and ask them to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about themselves so that we can get a sense of who they are. So I'm going to start with my learned friend here, sitting here.
I am Spencer Knowledge Ferron, former professional boxer, manager, trainer, promoter, podcaster now, proper podcaster, award-winning podcaster. Boxing historian. Well, I mean, most of my name is through the punditry of boxing right now, and and adulting dad. So and that's me, man.
Spencer, I am going to call you Spencer. Thank you for that intro. It was very short, sharp, and sweet. And I think that the wealth of things that you do and what you give back to the community needs to be really applauded, because you do so much and you've got such a rich history, especially in the boxing field. I think I was watching the Tyson fight. I mean, I didn't watch the fight, but the build up to it. And I saw this man on the screen and I said, hold on, he's been part of our boxing thing that we did on a Saturday at a school. That's the same geezer that's now talking to Tyson Fury in Dubai. So I think you've set a massive example for those people that are interested in boxing, and your knowledge and your wisdom. I'm really grateful that you were able to share some of that with us today. So thank you for that, Spencer.
Yeah, big up, Scotty. Thank you. Brilliant.
On my left, I've got Mark. Mark, I know you've been with us before, Mark, and your story was so powerful. We had to get you back. We had to give you an opportunity to really expand on your forgiveness and so forth. Mark, can you just reintroduce yourself back to the audience, please, and give us a sense of, again, who you are?
Yeah, cool. Officially, Dr. Mark Prince, OBE, friendly, your friends call me Prince. My work that I do, that I'm passionate about, is changing and transforming people's minds to live the best version of themselves. And I think that's why I've worked so hard in the coaching industry, life coaching industry, and just passed my master coaching sessions that I've been working on from overseas for a while. So I'm really pleased about that. So I'll be starting some coaching online sessions and developing that over time. But yeah, the Kind Prince Foundation, my charity that I started after my son was murdered, to be able to kind of create a model and a system for how you transform the mindsets of young people. And yeah, I'm a father of 5. I've got 5 children now. And yeah, that's me. That's me.
Mark, thank you. I think the first time when you came and you sat with us on the couch, and there was a point where you were speaking.
Oh, I forgot my boxing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you left that one out.
It's only because Spencer's here, I just remembered.
Yes.
So yeah, former WBO and IBF Intercontinental Champion, record of 23 wins, 1 loss and 18 knockouts. Yeah, so my boxing...
Sorry to interject, yeah? And world title challenger. Don't forget that bit.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Spencer.
That was the 1 loss, right?
I always get told off that I don't mention that enough. But yeah, challenge for the world title.
It gave Darius Mikuleski one of his hardest fight. We read the book. You know what I mean?
Oh,
his hardest fight. I read his autobiography.
Wow, you read his one?
Yeah, and he states that Mark Prince gave him his hardest fight.
Wow.
Right. Okay.
So that's some knowledge right there. So we've got a boxer and we've got someone that is a boxing historian that that knows the knowledge and the depth of the history of boxing, and for you to bring that back to remind him of some of these great achievements that actually...
Got to remind him of that one.
Yeah, and sometimes I think as men, some of the things that we do, sometimes we kind of find difficulty in kind of acknowledging that. And sometimes some of our great achievements that we think are not notable, for someone else, they're quite notable. So Mark, thank you for that introduction. And I'm just going to expand on when we met.
I just want to add this. I think that's got a lot to do with our culture not celebrating each other.
Very true.
And talking about each other. We don't want to big each other up. Do you know what I'm saying? That's kind of a little bit of the way that I see, and not just me, but that's the mindset of a lot of people in the community would agree with me, that you get a lot of haters instead of a lot of celebrators.
I think it's resenters more than haters. I don't even.
I just wanted to add that point.
It's just resent.
Spencer, somebody else might disagree.
Yeah.
But I just felt that I'd say that because I don't hear enough of people really, like, there's always something someone's got to say about you. You don't hear, like, that guy, boom, 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 he's doing so well, big him up. They'll always find something else, something negative to say, even when you're doing well.
I think that would tie in nicely in the theme that we're going to have today, because the theme that we're going to be exploring is relationships. And we're going to be talking about a number of different relationships. And that word relationship has got the word ship on the end. And any type of relationship that you're in, whether it's a friendship, business ship, intimate relationship, that ship has got to be on a journey. If the ship is just in the dock, it's not going anywhere. So any type of relationship has got to have some type of purpose and some type of end journey. But we're going to talk about that. But I'm just going to go back to our introductions. So on my left, I've got, and excuse us, we've got two people that carry the name Spencer here today. So if we see a little bit of confusion about Spencer.
No, we don't though, because that's his surname.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And my name's Spencer, that's my mother's maiden name.
Yes.
That is incorporated. My first name's actually not Spencer.
Okay, so it's both our surnames, because I was just gonna go.
Yeah, no,
it's your first name and
but
my
it's
surname.
it's my mom's maiden name. She married my dad, so it got changed. But it's my middle name.
Okay.
But I just went by my middle name instead of my first name.
Okay, thanks.
so-
Just to give us some context, and we got
So I'm
My
Anthony
learning friend.
Spencer. My fourth appearance on air. We've been on this now 4th week today. Published author, and I was going to say something. When I've met people that 3 months down the line, I mentioned my book and I'm an author, and they're shocked.
Why?
They're not. They're shocked I hadn't said it. They're shocked I hadn't brought it up.
Oh, okay.
They're shocked that they didn't know that as well. And so, like, I'm not thinking of it. It ain't on the first thing I'm thinking to talk about. The book's old. It's 4, 5, 6 years old. But it's very true how we might not see it as an achievement, but I've spoken to people and they've gone, oh my God, that is amazing. And I'm thinking, really? Like, do you know what I mean? And it comes down to what you were saying, I think, where we're not celebrating enough in our communities, whatever achievements that we've had. We've seen ex-footballers, we've seen ex-gangsters, ex-whatever, write books in the white community, and they're celebrated. They're on TV, they're on breakfast TV or whatever the case might be. And almost like they turn, if they were ex-gangsters, for example, almost like that ex-gangsterism is turned when they write a book and they sort of try and paint them different, which we don't do in our communities. So that was a great point. But yeah, I'm a published author, ex-promoter, studying for a degree at the moment. And yeah, that's a short story.
Thank you for that. Just a brief synopsis of who I am. So my name's Scotty. I'm a psychotherapist, and I've been doing this helping work with young people and families for the last 20 years. I've worked in different sectors, so that's local authorities and voluntary sectors. I think when Mark spoke about part of his journey, it kind of resonated with me, because for 4 years I worked in one of the major trauma centres in London, and that was working with young people impacted by serious youth violence. So I had seen almost the other end of Mark's story in terms of what that meant from a hospital setting. And I'm here today, this is week 4, just to kind of give some context and to help the conversation flow in the direction that it needs to go in, and to kind of keep things kind of on pace. So everyone calls me Scotty, so throughout the show, that's what they will hear. The last person I'm going to introduce, I'm going to make them introduce themselves, is Milo, who has brought us here today. And like, I've known Milo for a number of years, and when I say that, I start to smile because I've seen a massive change in him as a person, and growth and development. And we've had a couple of straighteners before where we've had to straighten a few issues out. But now
straighteners in physical, Scotty?
Not physical, but they nearly became a bit.
That is not a straightener then, man.
No, straighteners in conversations. Yeah. You know, back in the day, if we had a straightener, we'd just go out and have a tear up and then shake hands. Yeah. But
tell Mark Prince about straightener. He'd thump out your teeth.
Yeah, if you want to have a straightener, just do.
No, that's what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah. So with Milo, like, I'm just going to give Milo. I'm just going to give you tell us a little bit about you and why you did this.
Okay. Before I go to me, I want to big up Mark, because it's his birthday today.
Yeah, big up Mark.
He's in Gambia, and that's one of our co-hosts. He's been there from the beginning. Amazing guy. If you ain't following him, follow him on socials, Mark. Happy birthday. So, thank you, Scotty. My name is Marlo Morris. I'm part director and founder of the Legacy Foundation, Legacy Gala, and A Few Good Men. My partner, my brother, Joseph Morris, he's not here with us today, but his son is here with us today. Jose Morris is here in the background in the audience. And he's look out for that name, Jose Morris. He's coming. He's coming. He's 11 years old now, but he's the next generation of champions, you know. Mm-hmm. And also my friend Alan is here in the audience as well. So there's a community arm to what we do, a non-for-profit community arm, which is the foundation, where we go into schools, we go into youth provisions, and we deliver intervention programs, prevention programs, and exit programs to get young people out of serious youth violence, get them back into education and training, get them to look at their health and well-being, those that are in the mental health system, camps. Mm-hmm. Those just a few things that we do, right? And then there's a commercial arm to what we do, which is the events and property management and a bit of hospitality, just entrepreneurial stuff. We turn our hand to different things, yeah? Okay. And so reason why this was necessary is because I've been hearing from different men that there is not a space for men to come together and really trust each other and be open and honest and share and heal. You understand? Mm-hmm. And if there is a place, there's very few places, yeah? And so being November, the mental health month, we felt like it's an opportunity for us to come together. This is all voluntary. Every man's come from the north, south, east and west, yeah, in the cold, yeah. Spencer's come all the way from way south, deep south. Yeah, Mark's come way deep country. Deep. And yeah, Spencer's come all the way from deep country. You know? And yourself, Scotty. So this is all voluntary. You know, man's investing their time, their talents, and also their resources, their treasure to create a platform where man can, even if they don't contribute. I know they're listening in. Yeah. They're listening in, and some of the stuff that we're saying is relatable and will trigger some things that they may deal with now, tomorrow, or at some point in their journey of life. You understand? And it's around their emotional well-being, their mental well-being, their spiritual well-being, and also their physical well-being. Yeah, we know that God wishes above all things that we prosper, be in good health, even as our soul prospers. So there's a vision. There's a vision that God's got for our life. And where we might be lacking is for us to sharpen iron to encourage one another. You know what I'm trying to say to you? To support one another. You know what I'm trying to say to you? If I see that the lady say if your crown is lean, you must fix your crown. You know what I'm trying to say to you? You know, I see if there's a matter in a man's eye, I'm gonna tell him, say, if I'm talking to a man and see a big matter in his eye, I'm gonna say, brother, you know what I'm saying? but I'm not going to do that and not try and deal with my own matter in my eye. You get what I'm trying to say to you? So this is a way of us dealing with each other's matter in the eye.
Okay. So thank you for that, Milo. So like, this is a space for men to like just be a bit vulnerable, be a bit open, explore a little bit, be a bit curious. As we've already kind of discussed in previous shows, we've all got our own traumas, we've all got our own things that we've experienced. But sometimes hearing other men do this thinking thing together allows us to kind of dig a little bit deeper into ourselves, and hopefully allows us to become the best versions of ourselves daily, because this growth process is not a one day and then you're healed. It's a continuous process of learning, of understanding, of being curious about different people and what's driven them. When I look at everyone around this table today, I know that there's a wealth of lived experience where everyone's got tales where they can tell us about things that they've done, journeys that they've made, achievements that they've done, hurdles that they've had to overcome. You know, when we talked about pain into purpose, what was something that was painful that gave you this purpose to focus on? And one of the things that we spoke about was around forgiveness. And as I said, Mark came in and he started to tell us about his journey, and he spoke around how his connection to his religion and his faith kind of gave him a different aspect of, why did I have to face this pain? Why did I have to face this trauma? And it almost gave him a different kind of focus. And Mark, I'd like you to like just tell us a little bit more about that forgiveness aspect of, what was that forgiveness like for you? How did that shape how you've just turned this pain into this incredible mission where you are just changing lives? You are impacting people in such an awesome way. You spoke about when you went into a high security prison, and at the end of that visit, you had hardcore like lifers hugging you up and saying, whatever you need, brother, we got you. Tell us a little bit more about this.
Can I just say before you say that, before you jump in, because we want to give you your time to talk, right? And last year, I had a birthday party, show, dinner and dance, been doing that. And I asked Mark to come and speak in my party, Now, a party is not really a place for motivational speaking. Because people come in there to celebrate, drink champagne and, But I felt like I needed to do something different, because it's a landmark birthday, So just before he was going to go and speak, two men in my party started arguing with each other like they wanted to fight in my party.
I was there.
Yeah? Now, you know, if it was a different time, it would be dealt with different, very severely, Because that's a big disrespect. You don't come to people party with that kind of behavior, And so it played out. That like it was embarrassing. There was kids there, there was old people there, there was professionals there, I'm trying to say, and these two big men, it's like they wanted to everybody dressed up in tuxedos, looking like $1 million, and they wanted to argue with each other over something so stupid. And then Mark got up, and Mark goes, this is exactly why we need love. This is exactly why we need, as men, to put down our egos and our pride, and demonstrate love, because this could turn out into one man killing another. And then all families are affected, not just in here. It spills out of this room. And where he brought down love and forgiveness, this is why I felt like he needed to be on this platform. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? Because I'm still moved by that message last year. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So I know whatever comes out of this room will carry a man maybe to life. You know what I'm trying to say to you? They will never forget the words that from this platform. So, that being said, Mark.
Just bringing back a little memory being at your jam that day, and it was such a blessed time, man. But talking about forgiveness is such a powerful and important part of our life, because it goes across every area of our life. It happens every day. In whatever relationship you're in, there are things that we can hold up people for. Friends, things that can be said. And silently, the person don't even know that you've got them up. They ain't even shared it with you. Like, there's levels to this, right? And a lot of people, there's some people out there that people have got them up and they don't even know because they've never shared it. But the person's holding feelings against them for something they said, and they might not have even meant it that way, but they've processed it in that way. Instead of communicating it, they've just held on to it. And for me, unforgiveness causes blockages in your emotional system. And I like to talk about being clean and being light. And I don't like walking with blockages. And we think about our body emotionally like drain pipes. When you got a blockage in your drain pipe, what happens? Do you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to call man in, because at the end, not at first, you know, in the end, stuff starts overflowing.
Backing up.
Okay? And the way I see when we hold up people, it doesn't affect them, it affects us that are holding it up. So we're holding feelings, thinking we're doing something to them, when the only person we're damaging is ourselves. So for me, I'm big on, and God has allowed me to go through enough things for me to look at myself and ask myself what I want. How clean do you want to walk this life? How light do you want to walk this life? So I process my thinking about what I'm thinking about. I'm gonna say that again. I process my own thinking about what I'm thinking about. So when I see that I'm feeling a certain way about something, I look at me first. Many people look at the situation and blame the situation for why they feel like that. I start processing and looking at me and thinking, what are my thoughts that I've chosen to think that have left me feeling this way? Because there are no thoughts, there are no feelings without thoughts. And there are no situations that you don't have a thought about. So it can't be the situation, because a situation is just a situation. Until you have a thought about that situation, now you've got a feeling about your thought. Not everybody feels the same about the same situation.
That's so true.
So different people have different thoughts about different situations that create their feelings. Hence why I would be vexed about something, go to my mum, tell my mum, and she'll say, son, make it go on now. Because her thoughts about that situation was different than my thoughts about that situation.
I just heard my mum there, bro.
So my thoughts was, you violated.
Deep.
That thought led me to feel angry because I felt violated. Then that anger led me to act a certain way connected to my feelings. So there's things I did do and there's things I didn't do because I felt angry, because I thought these thoughts about the situation. That whole component, that 5 component of circumstance, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results is what all of us go through every day in our life. Here's the thing, we don't clock that, and we're not educated about this. So many of us are blaming the situation for why we behaved and felt and got the result we got when it ain't. Because thoughts are optional. And if my thoughts don't serve me, why am I holding on to them? Many people's thoughts of unforgiveness is not serving them. And what do they get? Cancer cells, disease, all kind of stuff. Why? Because there's a blockage in your emotional system So you start coming out with different issues. I've seen people even wearing their problems on their face.
Yeah, we see it all the
They
time.
look
You see it.
miserable.
You see it
They
all the
look
time.
angry. They look, whatever they're carrying, whatever's blocking up their system, and they can't change, they're not changing their thought process about it, leaves them actually kind of even looking like that.
Yeah.
There's people that look peaceful, look happy, why? Because they walk light. You chat telling people they ain't taking on holy stuff going on in the world. They're letting things go. And this is what the process of my life's been about, where even when the most traumatic, pain-full experience that you would have nightmares about, oh, I don't want that happening to me, even at that point, you still got to go through the same process. The process don't change just because the situation is the worst situation you can think of, where you got to bury your youth. The process don't change. The process continues. It's whether you want to roll with the process or not. And a lot of people throw the process, if they do know it, out the window because the pain's so bad. The pain's so bad. The pain can be so bad that it will have you thinking, I want out. I'm going to check out. And there's many ways to check out. Many ways. There's drink ways. There's drug ways. There's giving up ways. There's so many ways of checking out. Do you know what I'm saying? And if we don't look at how we're processing our thinking, we could get involved in that cycle that brings us down. And before we realize it, bro.
Why did you check out?
I couldn't check out because I have to be congruent with who I am. I have to be authentic to who I am. And I'm a member of the kingdom on the high. So having that membership, being connected with my creator, doesn't allow me to check out because I already know the beginning from the end. My creator's already shown me that life's gonna batter you. But I got you, son. So you keep walking with your head high, and every time there's a verse in the Most High's word that talks about what the locust stole, I'ma replenish, I'ma give back to you. So whatever the life wants to beat me up on and take away from me, people not realizing if you don't check out, you actually get ready for the next level. There's another level for you. So when you see these terrible incidences going on in your life, being rejected, being lied on, being left behind, being sick, go through disease, go through all kind of stuff, death in the family, all of that. When you go through that, instead of checking out, check in on what the next level is that this came for. Because it came for another level. Spencer see me in certain positions, I'm down here, I'm on my face. I ain't checking out, I'm showing up. I'm showing up in my punk ass clothes. I'm showing up not looking good like I want. I'm showing up. Because this don't mean who I am. How I look ain't me. I'ma show you who I am. I'ma turn up because I'm a king. You understand me? From the kingdom of the Most High. So I got to turn up however the situation I'm in. And if I got to forgive and if I got to love, I'll do whatever I need to do. Because this is the mindset that I've chosen to own. This is a thought process. Because the Most High gave us a special gift, a power of choice. And we sometimes undermine this power that we got. Right? That we can choose to reframe our outcomes. Okay? So I've understood that power, and I'm even running a power of choice campaign now. Because that word needs to be spread to the world. The world needs to hear about their power of choice, and I've shaped it into a superpower. So when I go to the kids in the schools, I start talking about superpowers and all the kids get excited. Get excited. I said, yeah, what superpowers you got? What you want to do? What you want to do? And they're all gas speed. This, I want to be able to know thoughts and rare. And I'm just enjoying this, you know. And I said, you know, you got a superpower already.
Yeah.
Where you can change destinies, situations, just by the way that you think and the choice that you make based on your thoughts. Everyone's quiet. Then I start breaking that shit down, bro. And they're like, yeah. I don't need to be talking about the teacher don't like me and I ain't good at this, because my thoughts are gonna give me the results that I've been talking about and thinking about. And if I choose to use my power of choice to think differently about this situation, I'm gonna change the results. So that thought about your teacher not liking you, how about you think maybe the teacher's having a bad day, let me be nice to her today. Let me be extra thoughtful about her. That will change your feeling. It will make you think empathize. It will make you feel like you empathize with the teacher. And that feeling brings different actions with it. So when you start acting like that, now you start seeing you control how the teacher acts. And even if it didn't, and it don't always work out like that, at least you took control of yourself. And you decided how I'm gonna show up in this situation is like this. And that's powerful.
That
Yeah,
really-
That's the power of choice that we all got. All your listeners have got it and they don't know it.
Yeah.
It's my calling from my son's death to take all of this knowledge that God's given me and gifted me with to present it to the world.
I was going to ask you something, you know, Mark, the other day, but we ran out of time, yeah?
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened to the perpetrators of that situation. I was trying to wrap my brain on the drive home, like, because I followed the whole story as close as I could. I couldn't remember if they got convicted, if what actually happened at the end. Do you mind sharing that?
Yeah, Hannah, his son, he got convicted. They gave him 13 years. My son's 15. They gave him 13 years. It's not even a year.
Was he young as well? How old was he?
He was a year above my son. He was in my daughter's year. And my daughter was in her last year.
How old was that?
16.
She was 16.
16.
Oh no, hold tight. My daughter had done school, but she knew the guy.
Right.
My daughter had done school, but she knew the guy. He was in a younger year and was just confused. Because can you imagine what she was going through? Who stabbed my brother? But I know this youth. I've been good to this youth. My brethren's been good to this youth. Like, what's going on? So that was kind of messy for her. But yeah, that's the situation with the youth. He got the 13 years. After 3 trials, that's not
3
pretty.
trials?
That's not pretty.
Wow.
That's not pretty.
What,
The justice
mistrials on the
system
first
we're not
2 or something?
discussing, but that weren't pretty.
What, mistrials on the first 2? or-
Mistrial, hung jury, mistrial, 3rd one locked it down. But it's
Wow,
ugly.
that had to be a process, man.
It
You
was
know what?
ugly.
You talk about choice, yeah? The first series, I had one of my next brethren,
Yeah.
and he don't mind because his name Tariq, yeah, from South.
100.
And some man them killed his son. Yeah, and he said to me he said not just to me, to the whole world, because
Yeah.
he was sitting where he was sitting.
Yeah.
He said, I will never forgive them. I will never forgive them. And I felt it. Because, bro, I'm going to tell you something. See my nephew there, he's my son. When my brother died, I was so angry because there was no one to hold. Because he died of meningitis.
Yeah.
I went into depression because there was no one to hold.
No one to blame.
I just wish there was someone to hold, bro. You had someone to hold, and you chose not. It's so powerful what you're saying.
that
bruv,
was my next
about
question.
the power of choice, bro. Because it's not easy. Who feels it knows it. You see what I'm trying to say to you? Yeah. All of this. I go to David Lloyd. Yeah. I bring my brother to David Lloyd. Yeah? He's a fitness instructor. Yeah. I don't even go to David Lloyd you know why I go David Lloyd? Because my brother used to go David Lloyd every day.
Wow.
So that's my way of being close to David,
Big.
my brother.
I get that.
You understand what I'm trying to say to you?
I get that.
You see what I'm trying to say? So all of what I do is just to keep
Yeah.
my brother's memory alive. You understand what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah.
You just don't know. The reason why I love boxing and I love the man them in the sport of boxing is because it's the only sport that I can liken to my journey as a man going through life.
100.
Every day is a fight, blood. Mentally, first, emotionally, second.
Wow.
Yeah? It should be starting off with spiritually.
Yeah.
But my spiritual thing is that now it's coming up higher. But
slowly, yeah.
it was the last thing I would be dealing with, the spiritual side of things. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
First, I'll be dealing with how I feel in my body, in my mind. Yeah? And that's why therapy has helped me. Therapy, and I hope this show has allowed people to look at therapy in a different way, because if you ain't got no one to talk to, bro, it's going to be hard for you going through life, especially what life is going to be in the near future. So I thank you for what you said. My thing is, talk to me, or talk to your younger self about this superpower of love.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
One last question, Mark.
Yeah.
Did the conviction, or when you look back at how you coped with it and all that, did the conviction help you on the journey you're on now, on accepting it, forgiving them, moving to that next level?
No, let's be really clear about things. If they let him go, then obviously that's another end of the spectrum, and that's going to affect you.
Yeah.
So, of course, it does make a difference that someone convicts him of the crime. Because the bullshit excuse was, his defense was, I didn't mean to stab him, I just wanted to tear his clothes. But tearing his clothes a different motion than, there's two different motions. And my son had enough stab wounds where you could see that it blocked himself, and one got through. So I weren't feeling that. But in terms of feeling as if I'd got some sort of peace from it, I'd already made peace.
That's a key
because I
point.
had something that happened to me before the last trial. And this was the lowest I'd ever been in my life. The man's already killed my son. It don't get much lower than that. So when the second trial happened, and then this one of the jurors was really winding me up, whispering, laughing. I'm like, nah, bruv, you're taking the piss. And then you're the one that has to be asking the judge, can you bring back in that witness so we can hear, because I need to hear. Well, if your damn ass would pay attention, you wouldn't need to ask for the witness to come back in, because we got to go through the pain of listening to my boy's last moments again, right? So it's all painful. So tough day, I'm outside and I'm trying to deal with just sitting outside the station. I can't even go in the tube yet. I decide to walk down in the tube. Who do I see?
The family.
The same juror.
Oh, shit.
So I knew that I can't while out, right? So I thought, let me hold it down. But I did say this to the juror. Do you realize, and I said it like this, I didn't even say it mad. I said, do you realize what you're doing to my family when you're asking them to call? I said, your only job is to listen. Bruv, before I could even finish the sentence, whoosh, gone. She went back to the court, bruv.
And told them you're
To
interfering.
tell them that I come up to her. That was it, bro. Now, if I'm a juror, I would understand, wow, if my family went through this, he is making a point, let me allow it, because I don't want it to be a messed up
already
trial.
going through stuff.
Yeah, no one else knows. Let me just keep it moving. I ain't gonna mess nothing up, because I don't want him to go through this again. Nah, you know that somebody could get away on this, but you still went back and done that. So what happened? It was like my family turned on me. Everyone turned to console Tracy, which I totally understand. And I even totally understand how Kyan's mum felt towards me. Because who wants to go through another trial? Because I'm coming in, walking in, and everyone, I feel a different energy. I'm like, what's going on here? So when I look, I see Tracy look at me, what's happening? They're going to do they're going to do a retrial and rare. It's like, what?
So that information caused the mistrial.
Caused the whole thing to start again.
Wow.
And obviously, she's mad, innit? So ain't talking to me. So I'm on my own, and I'm thinking in my head, what the hell? I didn't kill my son. You killed my son. What's everyone mad with me for? So I was on my own. That broke. If there was anything in pieces that was still in pieces or to be broken, that broke them all up, the last bits. Wow. And my big brother saw me on my own and said, nah, I'm not leaving you, bro. I'm following you. So he followed me home. But this is so deep what happened. Because I asked him about this. He's like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, this is real.
You asked him.
This is real. Let me show you what happened. I go home. I'm in a mess. I'm bawling. My head's bowed down on the chair. I could see my tears creating little puddles on the floor, right? Then I turn to God and look up like this. And I'm like, you know what? I can't deal with this. I'm done. I'm done. And I said, you take over. Like, I've realized I've got no power. And all my anger and all my revenge and all of that, none of it's changing anything. It's mashing me up. I said, you tell me whatever you want me to do and I'll do it. Same as I'm talking in the yard. Bro, this feeling came over me like I had this settee on my back. And after I finished talking like that, like this, I felt light, like my brother's opposite me. When I asked my brother about this conversation, bruv, you remember that conversation when I was talking to God? What are you talking about? I remember, no, my brother don't forget nothing. You ask my brother stuff about way back, my brother tell you everything what's going on. Brother said, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you telling me that God locked you off from that convo that was between me and him? Even though you was like this to me, and it was you I was chatting to at first, you didn't hear that part of my convo. Because I'd done it in front of him. Bro, that's how my journey began. People don't understand when they see me, they're seeing what God's work through me. They're seeing what God can do to somebody who says, okay, I'll let you be in control. Why do you think I get bigged up from, no matter where you come from, what your age is, when I go and speak? Bro, here's the deal that I said to God. That's why when I speak here, I don't even go and big, oh yeah, you're a big, no, bruv. Here's what I said to God. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. This was about maybe a month after. Because what happened, someone came up and wanted me to speak. So I was thinking, why are you asking me to speak? I'm not a speaker, I'm a fighter. That's what I do. I don't feel comfortable in front of people chatting. So I started getting invitations to come to a school. So I said to God, what do I have? I'm an empty shell of a man. What am I gonna say to these people? This is not what I do. And I said, I'll tell you what, just so I know it's your plan and you're the one that's designing this, because I did talk to you a while ago about putting you in control. So if it's you, I'm gonna go to the front, I'm gonna plan nothing, I'm gonna prepare nothing. And you know how shook I get. So if I look like an idiot, then I'm gonna tell them it's your fault. That's the conversation I had with my creator. Bro, I went there, I was at the back behind the curtain. The place was full of kids. The place was full of parents and the place was full of teachers. They're asking me if I'm all right. Bridget, my lips, my mouth is already dry out. I feel like I ate a mouthful of sand. My hand them wet. My clothes are wet and I'm just standing up and my clothes are wet. I go down to the front. Bro, I can hardly get the words out. My mouth is so dry, but I continue to talk. Bro, I couldn't tell you what I said. All I knew is that dads, mums, kids hugging up my leg, little primary school kids, parents hugging me up. Bro, that really impact. I was like, I went back, because what happened used to happen to me, I used to break down after I finished most of my sessions, and them times there, I was bunning a big head to try to come down off whatever I'd put out, okay? I'm not in that space anymore. I just walk and let God do his thing now. But at the time, he was still using me while I was just bunning and doing whatever I had to do to try and help process. In my head, I had to do that, try and help process what I was actually doing and giving out. And I'd go on, break down. But the fact is, he was actually starting the plan. The plan started from there. So when I talk now, I do the same thing. I just go out and I say, okay, we're out here again. You know the people.
You did that last year.
You gave me the platform, so you speak through me.
You did that last year.
And then I talk.
I remember last year when you came to the birthday, you said, Milo, I can't talk here.
100.
I can't talk here, bruv. These people don't want to hear what I got to say about love.
100.
And I was thinking, you're the big Dr. Mark Prince. I ain't talking about you don't know what it's.
No, bro.
But I get it, because when you are really working for God, you're not going in your own knowledge and your own flesh. Because you want everything to be authentic and to be
100%.
and to be impactful. You get what I'm trying to say to you? And you know in yourself you're imperfect. So it has to be a way where it channels. You get what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah.
And so when you did, it's funny how the fight nearly happened and you were able to use that as an illustration and say, look,
I used
look at this.
I use
Look
every
at this.
situation. Yeah. And that's how you use. So when I'm knocked down, when things aren't going right, if KPF's in trouble, if the whole journey and things are messed up, I use everything. Because it's all tools. People think that it's come against them when it's come for them. That's what people think. Hard times, and it's breaking me down. I can't deal with this. No, you chose those thoughts. When the same way you chose that, you could have chose, this has come to give me an opportunity to become greater. I just need to find out what I can learn from this. What is it that I'm missing that I could take from this negative situation and turn it into a positive? That's power. That's the power of choice, and that's the power that we have.
I'm gonna jump in here, Mark.
Yeah, please.
You've spoken really kind of vividly about like some processes from a therapeutic lens, like CBT approaches, like your thoughts impact your feelings, and your feelings impact your actions.
Yeah.
And that forgiveness that you spoke about it's almost eating you up if you don't learn that self-compassion. And throughout the show, we've talked about self-compassion, about having compassion for self first. And the way how you spoke about thinking, brother, I check my thinking about my thinking. So before I do anything, I check, how am I thinking? And like to put it into some kind of context.
Yeah.
When you get on the plane and they do the briefing, they say, if something happens and the masks come out of the sky, the first person you got to put the mask on is yourself. So with your thinking, you've got to actually give yourself an opportunity to breathe, to do some thinking. How am I thinking about this situation? What feelings are it evoking? With those feelings, what could my actions be? But before I even start getting into the feelings, let me start thinking about, why am I thinking like that? Why am I having those thoughts? And like, it was really powerful around how you spoke about your relationship with the Father, and how it's giving you that strength and that conviction to learn that forgiveness and to move forward. And the foundation that you've set up, you constantly pay homage to. I am just a vehicle for the big man to help me put a message out there. You've got this kind of inner kind of sense of gratitude and calmness and almost, I have a purpose to be here. I'm not here to just celebrate myself and to be Dr. Mark. No, I am here because I have something more important to give. I have a message of forgiveness. I have a message of love. I have a message of at our lowest ebbs, we can have faith, and that faith can give us some type of direction into what we are and where we're meant to be in life. Part of your story, you was talking about the relationships that you had, the relationship with your wife and Kyan's mum, and when you went back into the courtroom, this mistrial, and you're thinking about these two different relationships. And I was thinking about, our show today is about relationships, and we was thinking about, how do we start a conversation as men about relationships? So I suppose I'm coming back. I'm just going to come back to Mark around. So you've got two different types of relationships. You've got your relationship with your partner, and then you've also got Kyan's mum there. Two relationships that are really important. How did you manage those relationships? How did you, because we started this by saying ships going somewhere. So you got two important people in your life at this really kind of challenging time where I have to establish some type of relationship back with them. And I think it will bring us to where we are going to be talking about our own personal relationships.
That's a really interesting question. That's what I was thinking.
This is so good.
That's a really interesting question. And
no one has talked about that, because there was stuff going on around that. Because me and Tracy just lost our son. Tracy's got her partner. I'm married to my wife, but we're bringing up our children. So my interaction with Tracy was very loving. And it was perceived by others, because of their mindset that they have, that it was more than just grief and affection for us having the same child, that something was going on.
Well, like you're going to go back to...
Like we're dealing with each other. You know, if you watch a video of the funeral, you'll see my arms around Tracy. We both had to do the eulogy on our son. And we're a mess. How's her man gonna comfort her the way that I'm grieving, and she understands that I know the grief, and I understand that she knows the grief? We're the only two people that understand the grief.
True.
Yeah. So that was a different type of relationship.
My wife couldn't understand my grief. Her man couldn't. We had to do some grieving of our own. And how you do that is when you're around that person that feels your pain, you do this. You hold them. It's not nothing to do with any sexual attraction. It's a bond of understanding. But to the outside, just looking in, depending on what your process of thoughts are like, you start going there. So those things was kind of going on around me, and I'd sort of hear, but when you lose your son...
But that's like business.
But when you lose your son, Spence, you don't care about whatever people want to talk about. You leave them on their level, because you've realized something's happened to you. You've gone on another stratosphere of levels, because death on that kind of terror dome level actually puts your mind on another level. You start seeing life differently. It will humble you. It will pattern you. As a dad, I felt like this. You see, when I was with my gang of 6 and I'm rolling, my car's full, I'm rolling down the road in my Beamer feeling nice. I come out my car, all of my youths come out, whether I go gym, anywhere, innit, Spence? I'm out with my crew, bro. That's the greatest feeling.
Mark used to bring Kyan down to the Brixton gym. So we're talking, this is 98 at my 98 at my day. I'm 98 at my debut on Sky.
Yeah, 90s.
Yeah. You was boxing them times there. You had the WBO international title, and you boxed up in Stevenage, I remember that.
Yeah.
And you cracked up that Yankee man vicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then Mark will come down to the gym with Kyan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had a 5 Series BMW.
That's my youth, man. That's my boy. My first son, Spence.
Yeah. I mean, his son used to come in the gym, so we used to see all the
Beautiful
time.
boy.
I mean, lovely, well-mannered little
Well-mannered.
Well-mannered,
Yeah.
well-mannered.
All my
youth.
youths, because I'm big on that. My youths have to understand respect, how to function when they're around people in public, you know, how to demonstrate that they are princes. You understand me? That's how I brought up my youths. And they're known. Everybody used to talk about that. Oh, your son Malik. Oh, your son Kishon. Oh, Micaiah, Kyan. All my boys, my girls, beautiful. Tanisa, Jodeci. Just the way that they'll flex. All my brethren loved having my kids around.
You know what I love about you, bro? You invited me one day to church because you was going to speak. Yeah? And I never know you could sing. I never know you could sing, bro. And you sung a song and the way you captivated the youths them that was in the church. And you come, I sat at the back. You know what I'm saying? And I admire you, bro. I admire you because you've lost mummy. You've lost relationships, partners. You've lost son, but you've kept a relationship with God.
Yeah.
And because of your relationship with God, it's given me inspiration to reconnect or renew my relationship with God. You understand? You Scott, you talked about the relationship you had with your baby mother and your wife.
Yeah.
I want to bring Spence in because the reason why I wanted to bring Spence in because when it comes to relationships, he's like the master of building relationships. His black book, his connections, his networking
100.
globally. Yeah, with the Legacy Gala, you know, he's the man that brought in most of the superstars there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say to you?
Big.
Yeah, John Barnes, Andy
That's
Cole, Eubanks, Trevor Nell, you name it. These people, you know what I'm saying? Spencer's got them in his black book. Tyson, if you want to speak to Mayweather, we'll get Mayweather upon the phone. And you want to speak to Kano, Kano, we went into the youths and he got Kano on the phone. Yeah? And there's a secret to success when it comes to building relationships. But
100%.
the most important relationship is your relationship that you talked about with God. You understand?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to, first of all, Scotty's already defined what relationship is, yeah? So a ship transporting from place to place. But the ones that I've got here, before I hand over to Spencer, is relationship, friendship, partnerships, fellowships, kingships, leaderships, headships, mentorships, companionships, memberships, workmanships, lordships, craftsmanships, scholarships, townships, flagships, situationships, horsemanships. The second most important relationship is the relationship you have with yourself. Yeah? So I believe there's an order to this thing.
Yeah.
God first, the relationship you have with yourself, then the relationship with others. But, because we know, and the reason why, you know, there's 2 videos that played at the beginning of this show, yeah? And one talked about what life is going to look like when we're all gone. And the other one was with a woman talking about Jezebel.
Jezebel and all that.
Yeah? For people who understand biblical stories, understand the story and what the spiritual implications of linking with a spirit or an attitude of Jezebel, yeah? When a man grows and is going to build, it's normally with a woman. You know what I'm trying to say? And if you pick the right woman, you can build and expand. If you pick the wrong woman, you can decrease. Yeah? And so I wanted to talk about different types of relationships, and man could feed in as they want to. But I wanted to Spencer to kick off what the secret to success when it comes to relationships.
There ain't no secret to success in relationships. There isn't. You just got to do what you do. That's how I see it. It's like, if you think like there's a secret to a relationship or why, you see like on an old, like, if I look on that, like, and like on one of the ships is mentorship, all I could do is look at my dad. God rest his soul. He's been, you know what I mean, it's 19 years next year since he chipped out. I'm looking at that, and like I say, I can look on my old man, who was married to my mum for 54 years before he chipped out.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm. Long time.
Right? So when I look at that, then I'm saying, yeah, on those things, like, we're living in a world now where we're raising weak men. You know what I mean? It's like we're raising weak men. But at the same time, that generation there, and Milo can know, but everybody there should know, because you're the same age group. You know what I mean? I'm 50 next month. We look at that generation of people and know how tough they were and how resilient they were. We look to today's society now, and everyone's too intertwined with their emotions, right? We're too intertwined with our emotions so much that we get so emotionally involved that we come off the path of what we're meant to be doing. The key relationship, as Mark was pointing out, is firstly, it's your relationship with the Most High. And no matter what name that you call him, William Shakespeare, you know what I mean? A rose is still a rose by any name. So I don't care what you call the higher being. It's the higher being. It's the creator. It's who resonates inside of all of us. But when you look at the relationships that I'm fortunate, I know like everyone ain't come from where I come from, but I know like I was very fortunate. I didn't come from what we supposedly call a broken home. I didn't have that. I had my mom and dad there for me every single day of my life. So if I look at how my dad was, I'm providing. I'm going to work. I'm going to, like, seriously, the day I was born, my mom and dad tried for 13 years before they had me. They couldn't have 13 years, then I popped up. You know what I mean? And like my dad had previous children, my mom had a previous child, but I was the only one for both of them together. And my on the day I was born, December 20th, my mom rings my dad at work and said, "Oh, Papa, the baby soon coming up." And my dad said to my mom, "Do you think me I gonna lose ideas work? Me will see the baby when I come home." Like Rego. Like, but in a way, I'm saying, that's kind of effy, you know. When I see that thing, like, but I mean, you waiting 13 years, yeah. Well, I mean, a couple more hours ain't gonna kill me, right? So when it comes on those kind of things, I'm looking at those things there, where like things that were regimental in how they were, and like it's a brave thing to say you're gonna leave a country to come to another country so many years ago, and you're coming, and furthermore, when we're in here, and you feel the coldness of this country, right? I'm complaining that it's cold right now. No one come. We just drove in. I looked at Mark. But it's cold. It's cold in the studio.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's expensive.
We all got coats on.
It's cold. It's cold.
That's why
You know
I've got
what I
the
mean?
raccoon fur.
Well, exactly. Exactly. You know what I mean? Scotty's not taking off his hat. Milo's not taking off his. It's cold. But when we think about it, like the braveness of like our parents to say they're leaving, to say like, oh well, it's better opportunity, which is a trap, to come to the UK in that cold. You know what I mean? My dad telling me, yeah, when I come home from work and I'm going to take 2 Guinness buckle, you know. I said, what? Yeah, 2 Guinness. Them times, the Guinness bottle was tall and big.
Yeah, the big ones.
They're big, yeah. See, they're big, what? To fight Teddy boys. Because their white man will come out with bicycle train.
Spence, I hope you don't mind me cutting you.
Can
I go to that really great point that you made? Really powerful point that you made about us kind of coming up with a weak, mindset with the men that's coming up now, and then you use your dad's example of you being born, your mum ringing him, and he had to finish what he was doing at work to come home and see you.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways of looking at. Nowadays, you see as what? How could you? This is the one moment you see your son, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the other way of looking at it, was like, do you know what? I still got to provide. I still got to take care of this boy. I still got to look after my family. I will see him tonight, and my work continues.
You know what?
And that's beautiful, because it's not like the dad didn't want to go. It was his outlook on life. And that shows the difference with our outlook now. All we want to do is mollycoddle, be there. And I'm not saying that there's good or bad in it. I'm just saying look at the differences of the results when we're doing things different. And we've shifted the goalposts a bit, and we've been made to be like, oh, we got to be there like the woman's there. We got to be there like her. We got to experience all of these things when you got experience taking care of the family, and that sacrifice might be that you can't be there when your son's
I'm telling
born.
you.
But it's not when he's born, it's the experiences you have bringing him up. That's the most important. Because you can have that experience with birth and be a crap dad, but he was a committed dad throughout all of Spencer's brought up, see? And that's what Spencer remembers.
I'm telling you.
Not the days. He ain't gonna tell you, oh, my dad was there when I was born. He don't remember that. He remembers what his dad done for him throughout bringing him up. So relationships is about commitment. Don't matter what level you go to, whether it's your missus, your mum and dad, your friends, commitment's got a level of involvement. Not true, Alan? Trust me.
You see the point you just made, yeah? You think and the difference in how what your dad's done back then, which is commendable and understandable, but in today's times, you couldn't do that in today's times, and
You could, but you get run.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. The woman's gonna have something to say. Her mum, if she's still got mum's gonna have something to say. Her friends at work will be like, "Are you serious? Is that what he said?"
Nah,
like,
you know, like I said, that generation is different.
My question is how we are today, is that a societal thing? Is that how society has sort of built us?
Well, you know what?
Or is it a genetic thing? Is it a generational thing?
You know what?
Is that how, we've evolved?
I'm saying like on certain things, that generation was hard. It was just hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, on certain things, I know like my dad was like, he was like emotionless. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
same as my dad as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
You know?
'Cause
Think
that-
about where they come
Yeah,
from, Spence.
I know, I get
Their
it,
mum
I get
and
it.
dad.
Yeah, I get it. But to that extent, that I'm saying, no, that's kind of jacked up. On other things, I'm saying, yeah, that's how, you know, because they would tough it out.
Yeah.
My old man would tough it out. My mum would tough it out. You know what I mean? God rest her soul. My mum
They
checked
toughed
out last
out
year.
everything. They
right?
really did.
Yeah, it's a
So what would
different,
you
it's different
prefer,
time.
Spence? Would
Well,
you prefer him to
No,
be
I wouldn't.
like that,
No,
but stay committed to you,
I'm
or be
glad-
there on the day, but
Nah.
shift out because he's
Yeah.
got some
No,
problems with
I'm
mummy?
I'm glad that my dad was the way that it was. Do you know what I mean? I'm really glad because not only that, my dad's very loving, very compassionate. I got them traits from my old man. You know what I mean? We give you his last.
Nice.
Right? But when you think about how that generation was, then I can look on the generation now, and I'm being totally honest, that we've actually failed that generation.
We have.
You know what I mean?
100%.
We failed that generation.
When you say we, are you talking men?
I'm talking generically.
55.
I'm talking
50,
men. Yeah, I'm talking
I
men.
would go-
45.
I would go
Right.
as far as saying 45 to 65. That block, because
Right,
we're
that
the parents of the kids who are killing each
Yeah.
other right now, and we're the children of the generation what you're
Right,
talking
go
about.
check
So
this
I
one
would
out.
go
If we
45
knew,
to 65.
if we knew, like, of like the struggle that we had to endure when we came to this country, and it was properly instilled that your children knew, then this, you know what I mean? Like the way this, like at my mom's funeral last year, right? At my mom's funeral, like CK Flash, MB, yeah, his mom come there, Miss Sissy. His mom and my mom used to go to school together. You know what I mean? She just had her 90th birthday the other day, right? But his mom and my mom went to school together. I got to know her son, not through the fact that them two went to school, it's just through circles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got to know each other and then we work out like, rah. Or when you find out certain things like, rah, my uncle used to share a room with CK Flash's dad when they first come from yard. If you know those kind of things, then you know like, rah, even though we're not blood family, we're more than that, we're family. Do you understand? So if we understood those kind of things, like the expression of relationship, if we knew that to was expunge love, then we could kill a lot of things, you know? A lot of
Because
You know
we're
what I mean?
all connected.
Yeah, because
really,
we're all
yeah.
connected.
So much connected.
Right. We're so connected. And if we had that, then that's the key. Like me growing up, I've been very fortunate. I mean, I had a bigger, my older sister, Elaine, she was deep on the black consciousness. Like she was hard on it. But my sister's very spooky, but she was deep on it. And it was like, she would break down on certain things like there was no dividing us with this. You know what I mean? There's no, because you got to think about when we were captured and turned, and we were talking about ships, but when we was put on that slave ship, you know what I mean? That slave ship, where it docked off at, is not the place where we're from. We're African. So I've never had that divide in my mindset about, someone's from this part or that part, or I've never had that, you know? And I don't know where I inherited it from, but I've never had that. Kind of my mom, dad, I remember I was dating this Nigerian girl, yeah? And I took her home. And she's sitting on she's like, I stayed the night. She's sitting on the steps, and my mom come down, you want some breakfast, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And the girl's feeling a little bit shamed because she's like, spent the night at Manja. I must have been about 19, 18 them times there, whatever. And like, someone said, so where your mother and father from? And she said, which part of Jamaica they're from? And the girl said, oh no, Mrs. Fern, I'm Nigerian. Lord God. And oh Lord, if you saw my, oh Lord Jesus. Yeah. Right.
That generation.
That generation. Yeah? But go Nigeria. I've been many a times. I know you've been, right?
But they were still affected by the whole Jim Crow.
Right, come on, exactly. You know what I mean? So, like, like I'm saying, like, relationships when you talk about is like, first is with the creator, then it's your parents, but it's also your family. But you have to understand that your family is also extended family, right? And your family don't have to be blood at all. But if we understood that we are all family, right? And then sometimes, like, we got to look at first common denominators. First common denominator is like, we're black men, right? First common denominator, right? But then it should go deeper than that. Wow, we're all human beings, and it's extended to whoever. Because you can get love, and I mean genuine love, and empathy from any set of skin tone. You know what I mean? We're taught in, like, in the Holy Quran that God, Allah, only made us different for one reason, for us to know one another. I stand by that. Right, but the problem is within our own circles. Do you know what I mean? Because I know the most man that's done you the most madness ain't been no man a different colour from you.
I was talking to a man today, yeah?
All right.
We grew up in Tottenham. We're in Tottenham right now, yeah? Broadwater Farm. Left Jamaica, made Broadwater. You couldn't be no joker growing up in Tottenham. You will get eat like a hyena, yeah?
100%.
Right? I was talking to my brethren today, yeah, about a man. He used to come around our yard just to map us. He can't map us to rob us, yeah. We didn't know he was coming friendly, yeah. It's not. I was just down the road from me, West Green Road. I was coming. I was waiting to go and get my hair cut. A man tapped me on the back. I looked around and he took a crowbar and bust my eye, bust my head, yeah, nearly take out my eye. Yeah?
Why?
I couldn't understand why, because all the time when he's coming to my house, he's thinking I'm making money. So that was his time to rob me.
On the street? No,
Okay.
No, he's robbed me on the street. Yeah, I'm trying to say.
So he robbed you, yeah?
No, of course he didn't rob me.
Did he just bust your head?
He just bust my head.
Why? Because he realised that you weren't making the money.
Hear what happened now. He went to go and trouble somebody else, and they shot him in his face, and he's dead. But what happened was, I found out that his dad is my granddad's first cousin.
You see?
Look at that shit.
First cousin.
You see?
We're fighting people that
It's
we
got
don't even know
connections,
is
that
connected
you're
to
related.
us. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? That was my point, yeah? You said something, right? That triggered something. Not everybody, not everybody is blood. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Not because you have a family member that came through the womb means that you're connected. You understand what I'm trying to say? We know that we've lived enough life to know that they've got a saying that blood is thicker than water, yeah? we misunderstand what that means. Yeah, tribes in ancient times used to build relationships based on strengths and weaknesses. So, Mark, you could be a warring tribe, and I could be a farming tribe. As a farming tribe, I need protection, and as a warring tribe, you need provision.
That's right.
We would come together as the chiefs of those tribes and cut blood covenant and say, where you're weak, I'm strong. You understand? And that was purpose to build our territory and to build our wealth.
And that's what I'm
You
doing
understand?
in business now.
And so what would happen is, they would say that is thicker than the water that comes from a woman's womb when she's about to give birth. Yeah? When you're going through life's journey, it's not good for man to be alone.
No.
Relationships is a secret to success, and it's the right relationships. I believe if you isolate yourself, which a lot of men are going through right now, they're disconnecting themselves. They don't trust man. There's egos going on, there's pride going on, there's judgment going on, there's all kinds of things going on where a man decides, say, you know what, it's better I just walk this road by myself. But that is a lie. That's a lie from the enemy. That's a lie from the devil, because we're stronger together.
100%
But we have to be like lions. We have to be like-minded. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Birds of a feather flock together. You can't have a pussycat walking with a big lion. You see me I say? Yeah. Lions walk with lions. You get what I'm trying to say? Eagle fly with eagles. You understand? And each one of us are connected, not through family, but we're brothers through purpose. You understand? It's the purpose along life's journey why we got here. You understand? All right? And I might not speak to you I've spoken to you probably twice in a year. Come to your event that you did in Kayan's Foundation, 5,000 people, amazing event. Yeah? I don't speak to you every day, Spence. I don't speak to you every day, Scotty. But we know each other through purpose. You understand? And so I believe that man like you, Spence, you're getting ready to be ambassador for Saudi, representing us, You wouldn't have got that if you wasn't connected with the right relationships. You understand? You wouldn't have got on TV being the knowledge if it wasn't the right relationships. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? You wouldn't be the person you are today, connected to every celebrity on God's planet if it wasn't for the right relationships. You understand? It's not about what we know, it's about who we know and who knows us.
100%.
So this is what I would tell my younger self. Yes, go to school. Yeah. But like my brother said, know how to get on with people and maintain the right relationships, because once you have the right relationships, there's nothing that you can't do. Just give me two or three good men. Give me two or three tigers. Give me 2 or 3 warriors, 2 or 3 dogs, and we control the whole city.
But that's one type of, because that's like relationships that we need to function in life, to make our individual purpose becomes reality. But then we have different types of relationships. So those are relationships like the brotherhood of men relationships. Your network is your network. You build those relationships. Spence, I think you hit it on the head. There is no secret. The secret is being yourself, being a genuine, compassionate person. And if you say, I'm going to do A, you do A. It's about being and having integrity, where people know if you say you're gonna do something, you're a man of respect. You do it, and that's how you build relationships. And you're not a person who's afraid to say, "No, I can't do that," and people respect the fact that you have that integrity to say, "Actually, I can't do that." So we got those relationships.
But it's not only that, Scotty. You see, like it goes is this, like people talk about relationships and all the rest of it. Remember, these relationships that I've got a ridiculous black book, as Milo was saying, right? But these relationships is like, if I get into a position, then I bring other people with me.
Exactly.
Enough people don't do that.
Exactly.
I get in a position, when I was at Sky, and like they're saying, we're looking for a guest, who should we get? And I said, get Mark Prince. He's getting the MBE. This one, Mark was getting the it was the OBE he got, right? OBE, my apologies,
No, man,
right? And I, he was getting the OBE, and like me and Mark, Mark come in, but I'm not talking to Mark like he's no boxing guy. I'm talking to Mark like he's my brethren. You know what I mean? So you get real chemistry on camera. It's up there. You got mad views as well. They got mad views, right? So it's like when people get in a position, they don't want to bring other people with them. I love bringing other people with me.
Great
Me
feeling.
too.
I love.
Me too.
I'm just gonna be real. I love being in a position where, like, a man can. You know what? Out of the blue, I didn't even know Milo, but I got to know him through the Legacy Foundation. So this is what 7 years ago, right? That's how I got to know Milo. Because his brother, Joe, you know what I mean? May he rest strong in paradise, right? Was like, yeah, you know his brother. This time I was boxing, managing and promoting. He's like, you know his brother Spence, yeah, bop, 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 bop. And then one of Milo's man them hollered me and said, yeah, we're doing this Legacy Foundation thing, and we want you on the panel. Like, you can be the guy, the go-to person, head of the sports department. Can you do that? There wasn't no money involved in it, but I saw the organization, like the band of the Brotherhood there, and I felt part of the Brotherhood. That was it. So I just opened up the black book and I draw everybody to come to the thing. Do you know what I mean? And like every year they say, oh, we need a guest. We need a guest. You forgot Chris Eubank as well. You know what I mean?
You mentioned him.
Right. Chris Eubank came. And I remember when he come to collect his Lifetime Achievement Award. And then like he come and I remember everybody from Mystery, you know what I mean, Gunshot, you know what I mean? all of them man there was like, rah, my man come, you know? And I said, yeah, I just thought, I said, oh, Chris, they want to give you an award. He said, all right, yeah, I'm there. And it's a wicked event. That was in Chelsea Harbour, innit? Chelsea Harbour Hotel. Wicked event, you know? And he turns up and the man got on the mic, you know? They must speak for about 2 hours. So, yeah. So as I'm here, this is why these things are really. I said, brother, let's take the award and come off the stage, brother. Man, take over the whole thing. But it's about
good, you know.
right? Yeah. But you see, like this thing on relationships. You know why I get relationships with? Because I don't ask no one for nothing. No, ask you for nothing. You know what I mean? That's the major thing. If I'm asking you for something, I'm asking for your well-being. I don't ask anybody for anything.
So it's almost like you're allowing people to shine, and I think that's something that when we first started our discussion, when we talked about our achievements and how sometimes we make them minuscule, how actually you're giving people those things that you think aren't really that. Here's an opportunity to shine, and you're giving people and connecting people so that they can have that almost. That's me. I've done this, and it's great when you put yourself behind. It's not about my ego, and I think this is the thing that fosters good relationships on a business level, on a progress level, on a purpose. Where it's not about my ego. It's not about me, the great and all. It's about how do I make somebody else shine in my shine as well? How do I bring somebody else so that I'm opening doors? And you find that people will genuinely warm to you because they know it's not about you. You're opening doors to people. So when you want someone to come in, they know you're doing this not because Spencer is looking fame. Spencer wants somebody else to get some highlight, to get something, to be appreciated. And that's the beauty of when you got that relationship with yourself, because you know to yourself, I love me, so therefore I love my brother. So therefore, I want my brother to succeed the same way how I succeed in life. It's not about me and self-satisfying glory. It's about actually opening the doors. And those are the things about those type of relationships. And part of my therapy head, you guys got to excuse me, I'm always thinking about how do we bring this stuff together? And I know we wanted to talk about all aspects of relationships around personal relationships, intimate relationships, situationships. What's the word you used earlier? Entanglement.
I was going to use that for relationships with your spouse, with your partner.
Yeah.
I was going to use that same thing that you said, because many times we as men don't want to be able to give that space for our wife to be able to express themselves. We want to be the man of the house and what we say, and it's about having a good relationship is about creating that space where you can both be open and share what you want to share with each other without judgment. Because sometimes people hold back and they're in a relationship that they say we love the person, but they hold back because they don't feel like they have a safe space to express themselves to you about that because the way you're going to react. So many times
Say
in
that again.
relationships
I never heard.
that you have a relationship with your spouse that you claim that you love, but what's missing from the relationship is the ability to share your truth with that person because of the way they're going to react. So they don't open up. And that's not an authentic, real relationship where you're having to hold back feelings and you don't even express that.
Yeah. So when you're in a relationship, if you can't be your genuine self, and we're like diamonds. We don't just have one facet. We have different facets of who we are. I might have my fatherhood facet. I might have my business facet. I might have my wounded child facet. I might have my sexuality facet. I might have my emotional facet. All of these different facets of who I am as a person, I need to be able to actually share them with someone where they're not going to judge my facets. They're going to accept me for who I am. And what happens, Mark, is because people are not sure of how people are going to accept them, they almost keep parts of their facets hidden. And when you're not being really congruent, and that word you mentioned earlier, congruency, around being true to yourself, how can you then be true to an intimate
I
partner?
think a lot of people do that to protect themselves. They will tell you that. I think if you ask people, male or female, I think that the motive behind that is self-preservation. You probably find people who've opened certain things about
like a
themselves
defense
in the
mechanism, yeah?
in the past to a partner or to a business partner or even to a mate or female friend, and the female friend ends up talking about it to other people, and it might have done them some damage. So I think a lot of people, I would
It's
like
true,
to
you know.
believe that
You know
people,
why- you know why-
I would like to
very
believe,
good one, Spence.
I would like to believe that most people are genuine, but then, like, there's certain things I've done that I've never spoken about in a relationship, but those things don't affect the relationship itself. Does that make sense? Because I'm not going to say where the body's buried. Technically, I'm not saying it's real, but let's say you got bodies buried. You're not going to go into every relationship and talk about it, but that ain't going to affect the relationship itself, is it? Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about real bodies here, people.
Whatever affects you
So
affects your relationship.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
I
Sit with it.
I
Sit
don't
with
think-
it.
Yes,
Sit with it,
why
bro.
you only
Sit
say
with
one,
it.
yeah.
Whatever affects you affects your relationship.
Pastor Mark,
Listen,
continue
remember
the
we
thing.
talk about men here, you know?
Yeah.
And if you're in a relationship and it affects you, it's going to affect your whole house.
Exactly, but if that fact isn't affecting you, if you've locked in a box years ago, yeah, long before you met this person,
Locked in which box?
locked in
Remember,
the
we
box in
spoke
the back of
about
your
this
mind,
last
like
week.
spoke
Remember, we
last
spoke
week,
about
like,
this,
we
and
said, all right,
it's not
so
locked. It's not
blockages.
locked. It's not locked.
Yeah,
But
we
it's
hear
not-
that.
Blockages in
I hear you.
the
I hear you.
Right.
It's not locked. I
And you
hear
need
that,
the
'cause we
mess
spoke about
dust
it last week. Yeah?
to clean it
but
out.
It's locked. It's locked in the sense that you can go 10 years and not think about that situation, innit? So it's locked in it. It's not affecting your daily life. It's not
But it
affecting
does
your
though. But it
relationship.
does. Because like subconsciously it does.
It leaks out.
Yeah,
It
but-
leaks out
exactly,
into
and
your
this-
conscious.
yeah, and this is a therapist says we
leaks
can't argue
out
with Scotty, you
into-
know?
No,
Right,
there's a
no, but-
therapist there.
right.
So you've got two therapists on the couch, and unconscious thoughts
right.
leak out into your conscious,
Yeah,
and
but
they're
what
gonna
if there-
come
what if
out.
there are no thoughts, conscious or unconscious.
They're gonna. You see, this is the
That's
thing
what
that
I'm saying.
when I
There's got to be things
when
that
I
you don't think
yeah
about it.
when I
Like,
when
you
I
go 10
try and
years,
help
50 years
clients, or when I try and help some of the people that I work with,
Doesn't mean it's not affecting you because you've locked it away.
it's manifested in your body, in your
Manifesting.
actions, in your persona. You might think that actually I've unconsciously
example.
buried
Just
this.
because the
How?
drain pipe, the drain pipe's still working, don't mean it's totally blocked. It ain't blocked up.
Yeah.
It could still be working, but at some point it's gonna be totally blocked up, and then it will shut down.
Yeah.
Don't matter if it takes 20 years.
All right, let me try think of an example that people might hide. For example, yeah. So you know how many people you dated? A woman's asked you that. How much women have you had in last year, for example? You might not want to say about 7 women in the last year because you look bad for it. right?
Why would you look bad for it?
No. I'm just saying you might not. I'm giving you.
Yeah, but that's, I think what
He's
you're
giving him
saying is
an
correct.
example.
Because that's what I've done.
You may
Bro,
not.
that's what I've done.
What, you hit that?
That's what I'm going to tell you.
Why did you hit it?
Why did you
Hear him
hit
out, though. Hear him out. Hear him out.
Fair.
You may not want to say that to a person because who you're talking to might think that's bad. You might think that saying you dated 7 people in a year looks bad to them. You might end up saying it's 3-4 people. Does that affect how you're going to care about that person? Does that affect how that relationship then blossoms?
Yes, it will.
Because
if
it
I
started
come
on
to
a
the
lie.
girl and she told me
Started
she
on a
been
lie.
with 7 man last
Started
year.
on a lie.
Your relationship with lies.
You started it on a lie.
Get out of
And
here.
the worst thing is, you know the worst thing? You know the worst thing? You know the worst thing? You know the worst thing?
It happened.
You know the worst thing though, yeah?
Get out of
You
here.
know the worst thing? You know the worst thing? Put joke aside. You know the worst thing? Is the only person that you lied to was yourself. You didn't lie to them. You actually lied to yourself. Because if you was truthful to yourself,
Wait there.
this is what I've done. And I'm just going to broadcast my intention. I've dated 7 people in the last year.
This is really
Were they
important
serious
point.
relationships?
What, you
or
did
was-
that?
No, I'm talking about the
No,
example.
it's not coming up.
But like,
Don't worry,
it's
Scotty.
deep,
Use the
you know,
show
I'm
to
going to share something. I'm going to share something. I'm going to
Guys,
share
guys.
something with you. I want to share something with you. On my way here today, yeah, I'm having conversations with different people. And one of the things that we were speaking about is communication. When you spoke about your dad and your dad saying to mum, "No, come on, I'm have to stay at work."
Yeah.
There was a communication that mum knew what dad's responsibilities was.
Yeah.
She did.
And she didn't battle. She didn't, because they had that almost unwritten communication. I've got a different responsibility than you, mum.
You know what?
My responsibility is to provide and look after my family.
Scotty.
And me going to work today means that, here what, at the end of the week, there's bread on the table.
Yeah.
But me leaving work to come and do something, and mum almost had this, I don't know that situation, I'm just making a wild...
No, mum was a
sense
trooper,
of-
you know.
She was
No,
and she
mum
knew
was a
what her
trooper.
responsibility was. But there was almost like an unwritten communication. Now, with us, I don't think we communicate effectively. We don't tell our truths. We don't broadcast. I call it broadcast our thinking. And what you said earlier, Mark, around your thinking. Think about your thinking. Being in a real compassionate, genuine relationship is about sharing your thinking. Because if I can't get your thinking, how can I understand you? So when we're facing difficulties, I don't even understand why you might be thinking that this situation is a difficulty. I've got to try and make some sense first of my own mind.
Can
Then
I
I've got to
give
be
a
curious
very
about
real
what's going on
example?
in your mind.
Can I
And then
give
that's
you a
where we get the
very real
communication.
one?
Brilliant, Mark,
Very
of course.
real one, yeah, to do with my own marriage that I'm in right now.
Mm-hmm.
To hear my wife say to me how much she loved the fact that I was purely honest with her about everything in my life, women, everything, what's gone on in the past, because I felt like this was a quality person that I'm with. I can't come into this relationship with you and I don't bring the quality that I want to get from you. So regardless of what I think you might think of me, I need to look in the mirror because I'm more important first.
Safe
What
space.
I think of me. And I needed to be able to look at myself in the mirror and said, you were honest, Prince. What if she thinks you're a little hoe, you're a punk, you're whatever she wants to think, at least you were honest and you told her everything about you. So no one could come and say nothing. Because you already broke it down.
And for you to
I'm
tell
on
her
that- I'm
that,
on that
but
same
hold on,
page,
but you
you
for
know.
you to tell her that, she must have created a safe space for you to feel.
No.
No, I'm thinking
You
how
never-
pick
you
up,
just-
how you pick
no,
up on
I
the
just-
person.
I just
how you
spoke the
pick up,
truth.
how you pick up on the person.
No, I said at first that I saw her as somebody of quality. I saw her as somebody that I could connect myself with for life.
Right.
So because I saw that, when we had talks and discussions, I ensured that I was purely honest. Now, let's not get it twisted.
What did you see?
I'm a straight speaking
what did
guy.
you see? Just out of interest, what did you see?
I saw the way that she brought up her children. I saw the way that the discipline was there. I saw the way that she put God first. I love those qualities. I saw the way that she kept herself, knowing she didn't have a man and she had 3 boys. I like the way that she protected her boys and ensured that she didn't behave in any way that made the boys look at their mum in a certain way. There was levels that she came with that made me go, I like this. I don't often see this. I see someone, and she had the father of the children that was not taking care of any business. Okay, sometimes there was no visits. The youths weren't getting they weren't getting taken care of. They didn't see their dad, and the way she handled that wasn't like what I'd seen from most women. She didn't even try to bust his ass to get money. It was like, here's the situation I'm in. You chose to do what you done and back up from your responsibilities. I'm going to step up for my youth. And instead of utilizing energy to fight you to get something that you don't want to give, I'm going to use all my energy to focus on giving my children what they need. And I looked at all those qualities and thought, this is serious. She ticked those boxes. So I weren't coming to her with no joke thing, brethren. I weren't messing around with this woman, and I'd already gone through experiences in my life where God looked at me and said, listen to me, friend, these are my daughters. You're breaking some hearts out here because you need to sort yourself out. You're hurt yourself. Sort you out. And stop hurting my girls. Because unless you sort you out, you can't have a proper relationship. So I spent time in a 1-room flat and spent time with me and God in that place. And then he introduced me to my wife that I'm married to now. When I'd had that time with him. And around that time, I was making a comeback. So I was not only cleaning up myself emotionally, mentally, physically as well. So all those things aligned with when he said, here's your woman. It's going to take you a couple of years, but here she is. I introduced you. And what happened? We built a friendship. And that friendship was built on just real talk.
Talk about friendship.
Real talk. Honesty, bro. Like my missus was real with me about how she saw me, how funny I was, what I brought to the table. I enjoyed being with her and the boys, breaking down the Bible in a way that they ain't never looked at like that. They were excited about it. We just had a great friendship, bruv. She'd say, listen, if you ain't got nothing, don't be over your yard and you ain't eating no food, you know. Like, just pop over. And for months, I didn't. Because I wanted to safeguard in this space that I was in that I'd never experienced before, just me and a routine of being with God without any women and with nothing else in my life but just me going to my yard, making my food, eating, getting up, going gym, because it was a hard struggle to get back a career in your 40s to try to build yourself back and highlight your charity. But I saw qualities in her that were brilliant, that I didn't have an iron at my yard. I'd pop over, can you iron this for me? Or I'd say, can you lend me the iron? She'd say, just bring me the thing, let me iron it. Boom, 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 knock it out, gone. Come and eat food. So all of that was building a very real relationship. And I had no attraction to her. I felt safe. That's why I used to go around. It was her friend, and I felt so safe because they were like girls that I just didn't feel like nothing ain't going on here. They're not checking for me. I don't check for them. We have a laugh with all the kids, and then my boys loved their boys, loved my missus's boys. So there was this tight bond where she'd never let anyone keep her kids, but they'd come over and stay with me. So we didn't realize that something was foundations were being built here with the children, with her even letting them go because she was very protective over her boys. And it just blossomed into something beautiful. And I thought, you know what? This is a real friend.
Just to clear mind, I was being a devil's advocate.
We don't want a devil advocate, brother.
I have to be a devil's advocate.
Not in here, mate.
Because there's people.
So only want to punch you, my friend. I'm punch you out. We don't want that in here.
There's people watching this that ask questions, isn't it? So I'm asking questions for those.
It's very biblical, and I'm the water in a man for dash pan, you. Get out of here.
I'll go for the water.
Get out of here.
I'm putting on the therapy hat again. It's we're coming up to time, fellas.
We started late, so we've got
a little bit of time left. We've got a little bit of time. I just want to bring us back to the space, bring us back into the room. Mark, that was powerful.
Very powerful.
What you said is you met somebody where you saw them. You didn't see a body. You didn't see an object. And part of the problem now with relationships is this, how women have been objectified. So men are looking at women as objects because of how they look, instead of looking deeper into saying, who are you?
I can't.
You see, with this generation, they've objectified, and it's not our fault. Think about TikTok.
No, I know that part, but
all of that stuff.
We don't do that with every female, innit? Like Mark's story.
Look at that.
You're going to talk to about 10 women. Yeah, you might talk to like, hi, hello, whatever. Yeah, know them, see them, talk to them every so often. But out of all 10, there's only one that your mind's thinking,
you're telling the truth, brother.
That's a proper one.
He's telling the truth. I remember I was telling a man,
That's the proper one. And the way you approach that one, so just to round up, and the way you approach, if you was approaching all 10, trying to interview them then, if you like, yeah? By the time you don't talk to them, couple phone calls, your mind knows is one that you're going to approach properly. When you start approaching that one there properly, like Mark was saying, you cannot build certain things. You feel the vibes. You know you can talk to this one all night. You can be on the phone. She's at her yard. You're at your yard. You can talk for 5 hours on the phone till it's all 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of it. And from you can do that with that 1 out of 15 that you might be like, what's she on? And that's the one you settle to. And you know, Sam, if she ain't ready or you're not ready for that type of levels, you're going to talk to another one. But you know what? You're going to talk to that one. They're completely different. So the energy and the vision for man, we pick that shit up quick.
There's a reason why you
Go on, Milo.
In a man's journey of life, right? Because we're born to die. Given unto man is 70. That's 70 years. If you live more than that, it's a bonus. You're once a man, twice a child. You understand? And when you're a man, when you're a child, you think like a child, you behave like a child. But when you become a man, you put away
childish things.
Yeah. Now, as a child, you're gonna objectify women. You see what I'm trying to say to you? Because you don't understand the purpose of a woman, the value of a woman. You don't know how to handle a woman. I'm trying to say to you, you're exploring. Yeah, it's like you go to the supermarket, you pick up one fruit, and you put down that one. You pick up one fruit, you put down that one. Yeah, and we've all been there where we go shop. It's like we're going shopping. Yeah, some man go local shopping, some man go international shopping. Yeah,
and some man basket bigger than the rest.
And some man basket bigger than the rest.
Some man greeds.
Right. But what I'm saying is this: Mark is talking about when he was a man.
I'm going to interject you.
And go ahead.
Yeah, because remember one of the things I said in our first shows, there's a lot of adult males in our community, but there's not a lot of men. So we've got a lot of adult males. On the surface, they look like men. They're just like men. But when you really dig it down, they're still children because they haven't moved into manhood yet. What Mark was talking about was man relationship. How he looked at this woman was not some little plaything. He saw, this is somebody that I want to spend my life with. That's big man.
But you know what I heard?
Gave her the chance to leave me.
But you know what I heard though?
Most people don't do that. I gave her the out.
Yeah.
How?
This is who I am.
If you don't like it, you can go.
No, not if you don't like it. This is who I am. This is what I've done. This is how my mind works, and here's my future plans. I'll give you me. This is who I am. during all our talks and conversation, some of the stuff were ugly. Some of the stuff say, okay, cool. Well, I'm not really interested in a guy that's been through that, in a guy that's done that. Do you know what I'm saying? I give her the opportunity. And that's when I'll know if you're for me. Most people don't tell you the truth because they think that's going to be your excuse to leave. If they're going to leave, why hold them up? Tell them the truth and find out now instead of going through years of...
Mark, you know what I say? You don't know somebody until you start losing. You know, as I said, once a man, twice a child. But as you go through life, as a child, you're gaining. You want one car, 5 car. You want one woman, you want 10 woman. You want one house, you want 10 house. But then you come down and you start losing stuff. And who stays when you lose are the ones you need to keep. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
What's the quote by Bob Marley? It's like, real friendship are like the stars because they only come out when it's dark. You know what I mean?
Good.
And that's a real kind of...
That's the talk.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when you say when you lose, it's like what they say, it's like a cow don't know the use of its tail till it's gone.
Till it's gone.
Right.
That's the old Jamaican proverb. We've had a lot of old Jamaican proverbs in here over the last
Them are the
couple of
best.
weeks.
Can I say what us men need to do? Especially guys like me that that use breaking up or a way of getting out and leaving. I've done this in my life. And it's not something I'm proud of. But I look back and realize that I went through, I can't regret because I've grown into who I am now, but you do find yourself thinking, how would my life be if I knew these things before in my life? But we find a way, this ain't gonna work. We have to leave, I have to leave. But really, there was things I could have changed. I could have changed the way I thought.
What if you can't change the other person?
Look, it's not about changing the other person. This is what we don't
there's
get.
something that's causing you to walk away.
No, that wasn't the only way I could have dealt with it. And that's why I'm saying to you, there's other ways to deal with things, but we go straight for that one. Oh, this ain't working, you're not this, you're not that. Well, listen, brethren, how come I'm still with my missus now? My missus, I could have broken up with her 10 times over already. You think I'm talking about this relationship because it's perfect than all the others? No. Me and her could have done a long time. The only reason why we're together is because I think different now. That means my other relationships could have worked if I had a different mindset. Me and my wife are together because my foundation's locked. I don't have a way out. I married you. I told you I'm here through thickness, all this richness, poorness, all of it. I mean it. So you could turn around and say to me, get out, throw stuff at me. Do you know what I'm gonna do?
You know what?
It's all right, baby.
I got to big
It's
up
all
my,
right,
I got
baby.
a big up my, but I got to big up my dad as well. I heard you talk about your dad, yeah. And this is the last show. I got to big up Philip Morris. You see, this man was married to my mother for 51 years, yeah. And I see this man when she had the stroke, kidney lung failure, and they said she would never walk or talk. I see this man nurse his wife, change her nappy, wipe her bum, bathe her, yeah? Feed her every day. The man feed her breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 3 years. And it's not until I saw that I realized the value of a relationship. Some of us, as you said, we had good relationships. Me, hands up. I didn't understand the value of it.
Thank you.
It's not until you get into a place where you need and you're locked in and you've vowed. You can't go against that. And the man made a vow in it. He used to say to me, I said to him, Daddy, just go to Jamaica, man. I will deal with it. It's my mother. So you don't understand, son. That's my wife. Yeah, I remember one time. This is my last thing I was
Please.
gonna say. Go on.
There was a clip I saw, and the guy put the mic in someone's face, said, "Who comes first in your life, mum, daughter, or wife?" Bro, I couldn't believe how many people got this thing wrong. They didn't get it. Who comes first, mum, daughter, or wife? How'd you break the list down? Let me hear it.
You know what?
Should we all
You know
answer
what,
that?
bro?
Should we all
You know
answer
what? I believe it's your wife.
Everybody, just now, all you
I
got to
believe it's your
do
wife.
is break down the list. I'm going to Spencer,
wait,
you.
say like who comes first?
Just break down the list. You got-
I say it's your
Here's the
wife.
3 people in the list: mum, daughter, wife.
It's your wife.
Break down the list.
Your wife. I'm saying this, but I never lived this.
Bruv, just say it.
No, say it. No, we got to
Just
say what
tell us
we live.
what
We gotta
you
say-
believe.
You got to be authentic.
I
You gotta
would
say what you
believe.
Your
truly-
wife first.
Is that how you roll though?
Just
No,
listen
no,
to
this
it.
is-
No,
you
forget
saying it
it,
because we're on
What
the
do you
podcast?
believe?
I was thinking on podcast.
No. Because I've listened.
Always say
Because I've
wife?
listened to the man
All right,
talking.
all
I
right.
would
What's
say.
What's your list?
I would say because for this reason, a man leave his
Talk
mother.
the thing,
Your
man.
list.
Yeah,
Go
go
round,
round,
no
go
explanation.
round.
Go round.
All right, so
Come on,
we
man.
say your wife first, then your mother, then your daughter.
What's you, Spence?
My mother first.
Just go through the list.
Then
That's all. Go
Then-
through the list. Just
Oh.
go through the list.
My mother first. Then my child. Then my wife.
see, I would go my daughter first, then my wife, then my mum.
Bro. Mum, wife, daughter. Okay.
Daughter last.
Okay, so let me share something with everyone. This is why reading the manual for human beings is so important, because the Most High gave us a manual, and in that manual is told us how to function in every area of life. And here's what he told us men, how we function. Listen to these words. You find a wife, you leave your mother and father, and you cleave to your wife. And what happens? You create your family. You cleave to your wife. It didn't say cleave to your mum. It didn't say cleave to your daughter. He said cleave to your wife, and then you can create sons, daughters, whatever. So, who's first for a man?
Wife.
The God created someone from his side, and then she became a living woman. Woo-man, because she carried a womb. Woman. So you, your wife, your children, your mum and dad, I don't care, you can love your mum all day long. Love them to the hilts. The facts are, the manuals told us
You know who taught me that?
here's the
My mother.
process of life.
My mother taught me that.
Love your mum all
But
you
no,
want,
my mother
but
taught me that.
understand the
Let me tell you-
manual says
but-
your wife,
I gotta say
your
this,
children,
'cause I might never
your
be
mum.
back here.
No, but hear what? I hear that, and I hear the manual. Your manual in your scriptures, right? I know in my manual from my scriptures, we're taught that heaven is by your mother's feet. So it's the regard of how you are with your mum. I'm saying, did it say heaven's by your wife's feet? No, it don't say that. In the Holy Quran, it says that heaven is by your mother's feet. Reason being why it says like the most important person to you is the woman, and especially more so I'm saying the black woman. Reason why? Because the woman who creates life, who through the permission of God, who put me on this planet, so the most beloved, treasured thing to me is gonna be.
Do you know
My
why
mother-
that makes
Hold on,
no
hold on,
sense?
hold on, hold on, hold
No,
on,
we
hold
have
on,
to
hold on,
address
hold on,
sense.
hold on,
It
hold
makes
on,
sense.
hold on,
Hold on,
hold on,
hold on,
hold on,
we're gonna
Spence.
address it.
Spence,
We're
hold
gonna
on,
address it.
Mark,
We're
Mark,
gonna
hold on,
address
hold
it.
on. No,
Right,
hold on,
and
hold on.
you,
Hold on,
and
we don't have
you,
time.
you've got one wife.
Hold on.
Wait there. I could have 4 wives. Do you understand?
It's true. When you think
Right,
about
because
it,
remember this
certain
part
men have
here.
4 wives.
You can replace your wife. You can never replace your mother.
All right, here
And
what
you can't
here
replace
what
your
happened.
daughter
Because
either.
You
that's
can't
because-
replace your wife?
That's
I'll put my
because you've
daughter first.
created. That's because you've created your own way of doing things. That's not the manual.
No, bro.
The manual
No, bro.
tells a man.
No, bro.
If that was the case,
Mark.
how many women did God place next to Adam? How
Huh?
many women did God give the first man?
One.
Done.
All right, hold on. Let me jump in this.
The Most High
created
Let me jump in.
and consecrated.
Let me jump in.
The
You got to wind up.
first
You got.
marriage.
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Let's
We've
wrap
got
this up,
5 minutes.
guys. We gotta wrap it up.
Bruv, ask them, man. Ask
Me and Pierre for the show for next. We have to continue the show one now.
We're done.
We have to come back, finish that one now.
Ask David, ask Solomon, ask them, man, how much grief all them wives caused them.
Hold on.
Ask Abraham,
That's for
how
next
much
season.
grief
I've
do
tried
you
to
get?
start with Jezebel, but nobody never want to deal with Jezebel. But listen to what I'm saying to you.
Let Milo say what he's saying.
All right, hear what I'm saying, yeah? My mother, imagine this. So I'm young, I just come from Jamaica, right? And me and my dad said, boy, you know what? Yeah, when you leave school, come home. I never come home, yeah? Go on a youth club, right? So he locked the door now, can't get in, right? So for a week, I'm sleeping on the bus from the 149 to London Bridge, yeah? So my clothes, I'm sleeping on the bus now, yeah? From London Bridge to Ponders End, yeah? Because my dad said he locked the door, I can't come in, yeah? I'm 13, 14. And I said, boy, I ain't got no clothes. I need to go back and get some clothes. So I knocked the door now. So when I knocked the door now, my mother opened the door. She said, son, where you been? So my father come to the door and said, Miss Let, lock the door. Lock the door. He not welcome here. So I said, I just come for some clothes, yeah? So he pushed past it to shut the door. So I put my leg in the door I just want some clothes. So me and him start argue. And it's like me and him we nearly go for fight, yeah? And my mother dropped down on the floor. I'll never forget this, yeah? This is where she taught me. Because remember, my mother was everything to me. You understand? Right? Same like Spencer, that's how I was teaching. She said, son, you're my firstborn, yeah? And you're my son, but this is my husband. You have to leave. You have to leave. This is my husband.
Go on, mommy.
Yeah? Now, hold on. What I'm saying to you, you have to understand the dynamic, the backdrop between me and my mum.
I hear you, man.
Me and my mum was batty and bench in Jamaica. You understand?
Just
This is the
shame
woman that
that
taught me
the
to
woman
drive when I
them
was
today don't
12.
do that.
This is the woman that would say, if anybody bullying you, knock them out clean. Yeah? This is the woman that would give me a laugh. When everybody's against me, that my mother was the first one to come to Legacy Gala and buy 6 tables, 6 grand. She was my number one supporter, but she said, this is my husband. So I get it when you're saying, Mum, but I understand, I've seen a different part of life where I see when you got the right woman and the right man that come together, how they multiply, have dominion, look after each other, and they can look back on the fruit of their womb, their grandkids and their great-grandkids and their great-grandkids, and they can feel proud that they run a good course together.
Bridget, right now, we've got all good and well. You can have a man who's like that, like Mark and whatnot, and you can pick the right woman, yeah? And all of that can work out. But the world we're living in now, yeah, you got women that want to listen to, you got married women that want to take advice from a brethren, a female brethren. That's never been asked for around in marriage. So are you married 10 years, 5 years, 6 years, 12 years, 15 years, whatever. Half your friends ain't married, and they want to advise you on your relationship. When you got that sort of dynamics, things have changed. Things have changed. The life we're living today ain't like it was. I was in a great marriage, but at the end of the day, yes, I was open. All of what Mark said. Married for what? 16 years together for 18 or something like that. Yeah? But at the end of the day,
So what happened?
What happened was when you're warning people, yeah? When you're saying to people, look, I'm changing every day, you know. And you're giving people an example and you're saying to them, look, imagine if 2 trains are heading for a head-on collision, yeah? If only one of the trains keep correcting its position and the other one stays the same, what's going to happen? They're still going to crash, yeah? So if you're both behaving or if you both got issues or got problems or whatever it is, yeah? If only one of you is trying to sort it out or trying to be a better person, trying to grow and learn from mistakes of last
Remember,
week.
he said what happened. He didn't ask for some analogy.
Yeah,
happened?
because there isn't just one thing that happened anymore.
It's a group of
It's a group of
That's
things.
a whole nother series,
It's a group
man.
of
We can't deal with that now.
And as those group of things are happening, You're addressing them, innit? You're in a marriage, innit? So something happened last week. You address it this week, innit?
So is that your
Something
story?
Else. So what? Yeah, that's
So what
really,
I'm hearing is your story is you
my
tried to fix her.
My thing is,
you tried to address her.
I'm outgrowing somebody right now, and that's how I felt. I'm outgrowing you, but I've got a vision. I can see that we're still Chris right now. We're arguing once a week.
Are you still with
right?
her?
No, I left the marriage and divorced her, right? Because she's not growing.
So what's
and
her
that's
story?
What I'm saying to you. You'll have to ask her. You'll have to ask her. But what I'm saying to you is, I could see that where we're at, if the marriage started off at 100%, we're now 18 years later, or 16 years later, we're now at 60% of what we had. The love and the connection and everything else is dropping. I can see a year from now we'll be at 40. 2 years from now we'll be at 20. Eventually we're going to divorce anyway. I can see all that, but she can't.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm
Let me
aware
ask
of
you one
time. I'm aware
question.
of time.
I'm going to hand
because
it
we
over
have
to
to.
I
you.
believe
to
you
wrap
have
up.
to.
What I'm going to do, guys, is we need to.
Really, bruv.
100%.
You could see the
That it
future,
would get worse.
That it's going to get worse.
That was my feeling.
I can
That was my
accept that.
feeling.
Yeah.
What did you do to address it?
This is what I was trying to say to you, but you said that I was giving analogies. When you're talking to someone, I'm giving examples. Our child's involved as well. I'm saying, son, look. Imagine you're driving a bus and she's driving a bus and you're heading towards each other. What do you
did
both
you
need
do
to
to address it?
Talk. What else can you do other than communicate and say we need to address this? I've just come out one the other day that was meant to go into a marriage type situation, and then arguments start because people want to blow their fuse or people want to.
Did you bring intervention in?
Did
you bring intervention in? Did you go to a marriage counsellor together?
I suggested, not in the marriage I didn't, but I learned off the marriage. So the next one I suggested it, but their head wasn't there. You know when you grow after certain things. So after the marriage I grew and I looked at myself, and like you said, I asked, you know when you said about you could have come out the marriage how many times? I said to one of the biggest questions I asked myself, did I walk away too soon? Even though I was okay with walking away, but I had to ask myself that for the next relationship that I get into and review, did you do everything? And I learned from a lot of that into the next one I got into that should have been serious, but only lasted a year. Why did it last a year? Because I can see the same shit happening again. No matter what the plan started off with,
so you didn't
no matter how the plan started off with,
so the same thing happened.
But you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop us because I'm aware of time.
This is a big one.
Yeah, Mark.
We got to come back.
It is.
This is a big one.
Well, come back next week, bro.
Anthony, Mark, Spencer, Anthony. I'm going to bring us together because for the audience out there, what I will say to you is this: today has been interesting. We've chopped it up. First of all, Mark Roby's not here. He's in Cambia.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday, Mark. And we wish you were here. Secondly, we've been having some conversations away from the screen, thinking about this series and what we've done and what we've achieved and what we've accomplished. And we've kind of made a plan that next year we want to try and come back to do this on a regular basis because it's something that's needed.
Once or twice a month?
No, we're going to go for, we'll have a discussion. What I will say, we started our discussion today with Mark talking about forgiveness, and Mark spoke really eloquently and powerfully about his connection to his religion and how
religion.
No
relationship.
His relationship with God.
Listen, the Most High is not a religion.
His
He is a
relationship.
creator, and we are his products, his children. That's not religion.
Thank you.
Religion got created by man during the process.
Thank
and
you,
that's
Mark.
when things got messy.
Thank
if
you
everyone
for-
just stripped it all back and decided they're going to follow the manual and their creator, this planet would be a different place.
Okay, thank you for that correction. And we were speaking before we came online about that relationship. It's not about religion, it's about your relationship.
Yeah, for me,
So we kind of gave Mark the floor and he spoke about his relationship with his creator and how that's changed and gave him forgiveness, which he's able to extend far and beyond. And he talked about how that lack of forgiveness can dwell inside you and it's almost like a cancerous kind of effect that it has on you as a person. And what he spoke about first was around thinking, and he used some terminologies around CBT approaches. How you feel affects how you think affects your actions. And then we talked a little bit about relationships, and Milo brought in all these different types of relationship, situationship, entangleship, etc., etc. And we gave the floor to Spencer, and Spencer kind of spoke about his relationships in his field. He's got a black
Mentorships.
book where he's got lots of relationships with people. And Spencer spoke quite eloquently around how relationships is about, there's no secret. But one of the things that we kind of danced and talked about is being true to yourself when you're true. And Spencer spoke about in all of the relationships that he has, he wants to open doors for people. And that's why most of the people that he knows embrace him. And then we spent a little bit of time talking about relationships in terms of interpersonal relationships. Mark spoke about his marriage, and he spoke about the qualities of what he saw in his woman, his wife now, in terms of how she cared for the children. And he spoke how the first foundation of that was him being 100% honest to himself about who he is as a person. And he gave that honesty to his wife so that she saw him for Mark. And that's what gave them that foundation. And then we spoke a little bit more about how what makes the relationship work, what's the qualities. And then we ended the conversation, which was quite topical, around, is it your mum, is it your wife, or is it your daughter that is the most important relationship that you have? And we had a really kind of to and fro. We had some different views, some different conversations, some ideas, which I think we could explore again because we need to go a bit more in depth. But if I was to kind of bring this together and say, I think today we've kind of touched on so many different areas, and what's been really helpful is that what you've seen 5 black men sitting down with different life experiences, different knowledge, different experiences, being curious about our thinking. We haven't made assumptions about anyone here. We haven't made judgment. We haven't been critical. We've been very open, very curious, very nurturing. And you said, Milo, iron sharpens iron. And this is what we want to try and do. We're trying to sharpen other people by just sharing. And that's the beauty of relationships, is that ability to just share and be who you are. So for all of us sitting down here today, Milo, whose legacy...
Marlo.
For
the
you
purpose
don't
of
know
this.
charge me get it wrong for 20 years. Oh, you're... Spencer, what I'm going to
told
say...
me off the other day as
What did
well.
she say?
Stop calling it Milo.
What is it?
It's
Marlo, for the record.
Listen, I was out with his cousin, I never knew, I kind of seen her face before,
Sharon,
she's
yeah.
seen my face, and she goes, oh, hello. And then she come over, she goes, you're on the pod, you're my cousin's podcast. I goes, your cousin? She goes, Milo. No,
Marlo.
She said Marlo, yeah?
Marlo.
She goes, yeah, my dad and his dad are brothers.
Yeah.
My dad's in Jamaica right now. They're both in Jamaica or something, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. You know what I said to her? I said, I've known Milo for decades, and I've always called him Milo.
So just for the record.
I said to her, I've only literally the last month started calling him Marlo. And she was busting up like that. Literally the last month I started calling
it's Marlo. So for the record, guys,
Yes, sir.
it's Marlo.
That's
so
right.
Marlo, I want to say thank you
nobody can drink
for bringing us together, for using your relationships with different people to allow us to come together to chop it up. So thank you. Spencer, I've met you before online when we was thinking about doing some work, again through Milo, when we did the boxing thing in the school.
Yeah, with the school.
And I've never met you in the physical being, and it's been a real pleasure and honor. Like this,
You know what? Because we did it on the Zoom, and this big Zoom track, there's loads of on it. I thought you small, you know. I didn't know you was this big, you know. You're a big strapping man, you know. My Italian dumpling them.
No, you tell the flower them. Ask me my name. My name turn it on. My love cook.
Good
But
chef.
on a different note, Spencer, it was like really great having you here.
Yes.
Since we began the show, Milo kept saying we've got our esteemed guest. He's doing his boxing commitments. So it was really a pleasure. And I know you've got a lot of commitments on to be here. Mark, when you speak, I always have to turn my chair
Power
and look
is
at
powerful,
you in awe and awesomeness, because what you've done for the community and how you've touched so many lives.
And
You've
continues
touched
to. And
so
continues
many
to.
lives.
You carry yourself as a man.
as a
It's
man,
beautiful.
and the way how you eloquently just
You're a
express your
man's
narrative.
man. Definitely a man's man.
He's a man's man, and he's someone that we can all look up to as men and say, there's learning for us to have. Spencer, I want to say thank you for your input and sharing. And for all of us that have been here over the 4 weeks, we've all taken some knowledge away that where we go home or we go away and we do some thinking about our own lives. For me, I've really enjoyed the company. I've enjoyed the conversation. I hope the people outside have garnered a little insight into some of our thinking processes. And I'm just really looking forward to coming back soon and like just chopping it up. I don't know if anyone wants to say anything.
I just want to round up and say, guys, listen, appreciate these last 4 weeks. I've actually seen growth. I've learned a lot from these past 4 weeks here. Real growth, real processes. I've said things in public I never said in 40 plus years that I've revealed on this show. I've grown from this show. I've learned processes of dealing with stuff from being here with you guys. So I definitely want to thank all of you. And especially you, meeting you today, great stuff. That's a blessing. I'll go take your number so I'll get your black book. And
that's going to cost money.
But yeah, so
bloody Nigerians.
It's been great. It's been great.
Mark.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. Always love being with the brothers, man. Always love sitting down and just breaking bread with the man them.
Come on, man.
I love being with Spencer. I love being with Marlo.
Yeah.
I haven't been around Spence for too long, but I've enjoyed his company here. Just the dynamics of everyone. Scotty, I met the last time when we done the first show. I thought, wow, it's really awesome being with a skilled therapist because you don't often meet black guys in that field. So it was really kind of a blessing for me to have someone, and he kind of.
Scotty's big in the industry, you know.
And he knew, yeah, he's big in the industry.
He's big in the don't ramp with Scotty. He's big in the industry.
Massive, and he understood my language. So with the terms that I use, I know he said CBT. It's not quite, but he really understood exactly where I was coming from and what I really wanted the viewers and the listeners to be able to get from this. The way I broke it down was for them to use it in their own lives and not just to hear it, but to actually take it and use it. So I'm just praying that they do that. And I just want to big up Spencer like I always do. The reason why I love Spencer is because I always look at individuals and how they deal with their life and the situations they find themselves in. And I look at how Spencer dealt with his life and how he processed his growth. I've watched him through different eras of his life and how he's kind of had these thoughts in his head of who he wants to be seen as and who he wants to grow into. And I've watched him grow. I've watched his character change. And I always commend him, whether I'm on the phone with him,
all the time,
whether I link him up. And then when I'm in public as well, I'll talk about Spencer to other youths and to other people. Because I've watched a lot of fighters. I've seen a lot of fighters' careers. I've seen how they deal with loss. I've seen how they make comebacks. I've seen how they find themselves. Some fighters are blessed enough where they get things on the plate. Come and do this, come and do that. But man like Spencer ain't never had nothing just like on a plate. He's had to put himself in a position where his mindset knows how to network. He knows how to maneuver himself. He ain't no one's mug. He knows what he's doing when he's doing what he's doing, when he's strategically speaking and developing relationships and being himself, as he said. That's really important. So he's had to evolve, and we have to help people to understand that's really important. Stop thinking about yourself like a fixed mindset, like this is who I am. Because when you do that, that's when you stop growing. And Spencer's continued to grow because he hasn't fixed himself with a fixed mindset. He's got a growth mindset. I could get to this point. This could, if I try this, if I do that, and he's dared to do it. When Sky locked him off, they thought, yeah, that's Spencer done. Not in Spencer's eyes.
way.
That was the beginning. That's something new. Okay, so now I got this under my belt. I'll use this and go
get
up to the next
level.
step. And I wish everyone would start thinking in that way, that all the disappointments use as appointments for your next stage. So thank you, Spencer, for showing that example to many of us, bruv.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Spencer, anything
That's
you want to
wonderful.
outro?
Yeah, Marlo.
Yeah.
No.
Spencer, anything you want to add? You want to say before I give off to Milo?
You know what? I didn't really talk because I used to talk for hours. But the thing is, when hearing Mark speak and that's the dialogue, I was just more infused at hearing when Mark was speaking because it touched me. You get what I'm trying to say? And not only that, but to hear like you got Scott, you got very good diction. You know what I mean? But it's just to see men just sit down and just rap. So this can't stop. This has got to go on. You know what I mean? I was saying to Milo saying, "Well, you coming this week? Coming in?" I'm like, "Yeah." And things would always come up and that. And then I was away. I had to go to Saudi. I went to Saudi for the Fury fight and that. So I didn't get the time. So it's just been an honor just to be here, just to chat. You know what I mean? And not only that, but it's nice also because usually you be like the focal point, but on certain things I've learned over years, it's really good to sit and listen. So I like listening now. It's like me and Milo we'll be in some Zoom business meetings. I might say, "Yo, but Spencer, you never talk." I said, "No, because I like to listen now." That's something that I have to, because I never used to want to listen. When I was younger, Mark could tell you, I was annoying, you know. I was, every little thing. As you go older, you just learn it.
Which is what I was talking about.
Right, exactly. I just like listening. And because learning is done when you listen.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean? If you talk and I talk, you
don't learn.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Well, like my mom used to tell me, like, there's a reason why you got two ears and one mouth for a reason. You know what I mean? And I know that reason there. But lastly, when I say this, my mom and dad, my mom said to my dad, and I remember this, this was like, my dad was like maybe a week before he passed away, and she said like, "You know, Papa," because that's what everyone used to call my dad. "You know, Papa never tell me say him love me, you know." And my dad laughed. And he said, "Yeah, because you know."
All right. Say no more.
Because you know.
Say no more.
So on this air, it's like I don't need to tell my brothers inside there because I can feel the energy. I got nothing but love and respect for you. But I'm saying it because old time people wouldn't say it. So it's good. Like Mark will phone me certain times. Fights going, "Bro, when you getting me on the podcast, bro, to talk about?" But I said, "Mark, you don't need to. This is your thing. You don't need to." You know what I mean? Like, "Yeah, I was watching a fight the other day." Yeah, and I said, "All right, then, I got to go." And he said, "Yo, let me just tell you, bro, I love you, you know." You don't know what that means. It means a lot. You get what I'm trying to say?
Milo, you got the fuse.
So
Can I give him his flowers? Because this is a really special guy.
Give him his flowers.
I need to give him his flowers, yeah?
Thank you.
It's verbal flowers,
Verbal flowers, all right.
Thank you, bro.
These men, right, they're pillars. In the ends, in the community, they're pillars. All this stuff, legacy gala and all that. When I went to Marlo's show, it inspired me, bruv.
In Ali Pali.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, you got an award that night. innit?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It
that was a big
inspired
thing.
me, bruv. Like my guy that I come with from college in Tottenham and all that. I know these men. I know what they're about. I know we've grown together. And to see them create something powerful, something beautiful, that's having an impact on so many people's lives, as we said, the people in the room, the quality of professionals in the room, the people that have built something in their own rights, and they've come to my man's team. It's big, bro. And I don't think those things are sung about enough, because the youths need to be looking up to the Marlos. They need to be looking up to the Spencers and to know about them, because I know they do, but I just think our platform to be able to showcase these brothers should be a lot higher in the community.
100%.
It shouldn't be the flipping, what they call the brother, I'm so Drake and them man there. These are the man them that we're supposed to be giving all the ratings to. Forget a Jay-Z. You're creating stuff in the community. You're opening doors for youths and making a difference. And when I go and talk to the youths, I'm always telling them, guys, you lot are looking up to the wrong role models. You got role models. They're right here. And I name my brethren that I've got. And I said, they will come in the school to see you. But still, you want me to bring some next name guy in? He don't want to see you. All he wants to know is papers are on the table for him to come out of his house. But our man, them, will come and we'll take our time, which is the most valuable currency. Time, and that's what we'll do. And Marlo does that, Spencer does it. You've done that bare times. Everybody in this room's got a heart for their community, and they're the ones that should be given all the props from the youths. Until these men out there that's got all the fame are actually doing something for you, why are we on their walls? Why are we giving them all this ratings because they got a blue tick and 1 million and plus followers and we give them ratings? Nah, rate the man them that do something. Rate your mum and dad, bro, that's busting their ass. Give them all the ratings. Ciao.
Thank you. Milo.
Oh, boy.
Get the altar.
It's humbling. On this panel, if you're in the studio, if you was in the studio, you feel the love, you'd feel the respect, you'd feel the honor. And that's what we as men need. Yeah, respect, honor, and love. There's a couple of sayings. If you want to be, those that want to be, have friends must show themselves to be friendly. Yeah, my dad used to say that if you want to be, have friends, you must be friendly. Yeah. And if you're not meeting any needs, you're not needed. You know what I'm saying? If you're not meeting needs, if you're not meeting any needs, and this is something for the man, if you're not meeting any needs, you're not needed.
You're not a purpose.
It's a simple saying, but it's so powerful and profound. You understand? Right? And so I try to bring more value in a relationship than the opposite side. You know what I'm trying to say to you? I always try to do more than the opposite side. Yeah. If you loving, I'm trying to love more. If you giving, I'm trying to give more. If you sacrificing, I'm trying to sacrifice more. If you pick up, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do more. Why? Because I'm going to be needed down the road. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So I thank God for Spencer, for Mark, for Anthony Spence, for Scotty Scott, because on this panel you've got is it MBE?
OBE.
OBE.
Order.
He's
got the
You've
order.
got the OBE, doctor. You've got philanthropists and boxing pundits and media broadcasting experts. You've got millionaires and entrepreneurs and authors. You've got counselors. This is not the regular.
Go by the Prince of Peace.
People might become familiar because they don't know. Familiarity breeds contempt. And you just don't know until you really sit down and know the sacrifices that man have had to go through to be here. You understand? We're not supposed to be here. A lot of us was not supposed to reach to this age. You understand? So we're here for a reason. And I just want to end on this.
Survivors.
I want to end on this, You know, Scotty says we're coming back. I don't know, because everything costs time and money, and people have sacrificed to be here. Everybody's been here on a voluntary basis, and the studio, big up the studio, and the studio. We need to make sure that we drive traffic to the studio
100.
Because this studio has been absolutely amazing. Theomedia.net, big up the channel. But I just wanted to end on this time. We plan for life, but we're not planning for death. And time is very precious. You can get back money, but you can't get back time. You understand? So when people waste your time, that's the biggest enemy. You know what I'm trying to say to you? And we've got a short window of time to leave a legacy. You understand? I done my calculations the other day. I'm 51, and I've done I timed it by 360. It works out to I've lived 18,313 days. I don't know how many days I got left. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So whatever days...
We had that conversation.
Huh?
We had that conversation.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was me and you had that conversation.
But I don't know how many days I got left. So every day has got to count. So I value the time That man has sacrificed, jumped on the train. This man drives a brand new Range Rover. He jumped on the train to be here in the cold, standing up waiting. I'm trying to say to you, I know every man has sacrificed to be here. Their family, you got the young baby, you got a big organization, wife, you're leaving. I'm trying to say to you, you got big studying that you're dealing with, big assignments. So there's no awards here. There's no medals here. But God will honor you and God will reward you. I'm a big believer in that. You understand? So thank you guys for your time, for your talent, and for your treasure. And thank you, audience, for tuning in. And this has been.
Big thank you to the audience, their participation, their comments, and all that. Well appreciated.
This has been a wonderful 4 weeks of Secrets to Success, Man's Mental Health and Healing podcast. Thank you very much, people.
Easy.
God bless you. Hopefully, see you in the new year.
See you in the new year.
God bless you. Bye bye.
And bless.
Bless.
Them done the thing.
Respect.
I'm still I go live, you know.